From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Bill Chadwick, Northwest Surety Company.
Howdy, Bill. How are things in Seattle?
Oh, not bad, Johnny, not bad. You tell me, have you ever fallen for the spell of the Yukon?
What are you trying to do? Sell me some mining stock?
No, but there's a mine I'd like to have you take a look at.
Up in the Yukon?
Well, actually, it's across the border in Alaska. It's a gold mine, a big one, sitting on top of a rich vein. And why don't you fly on out here and let me tell you about it?
Why not? Shall I bring my own pick and shovel?
No, Johnny.
Huh?
Just be sure you bring your gun.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Northwest Surety Company, Seattle, Washington office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Midnight Sun matter. Item 1, $164.35, transportation to New York, then a main liner through Chicago to Seattle. The pilot gave us a beautiful view of Mount Rainier and Puget Sound before we set down, and at 4 p.m. I was in Bill Chadwick's office at 2nd Avenue and Yesler Way.
I'm glad to see you, Johnny. It's been a long time.
Yeah, hiya, Bill.
Yeah, sit down.
Okay. Now, what was that crack over the phone about bringing along a gun?
Well, the men who moil for gold are a pretty tough bunch, Johnny. And sometimes it even goes for the management of a big mining operation.
Like what, for instance?
Like Universal Consolidated Mining Corporation.
Where's that?
It's north and east of Fairbanks.
Alaska. Huh?
Yes, even north of Fort Yukon. That means above the Arctic Circle.
And what's happened up there?
The whole thing sits at the foot of a big glacier.
Oh?
No problem until recently. Now, through some freak of nature, that glacier is changing its course.
No kidding.
And from the look of things, maybe a couple of months, maybe a couple of years, or even 10 years. Anyhow, they seem to think that glacier is going to sweep down over the mines, the town, everything.
I see.
In which case, our company would have to pay for the whole loss.
An all-coverage policy, huh?
Yeah. And it's occurred to me, Johnny, suppose they've suddenly run out of that rich vein they found up there.
You mean that somehow they deliberately caused that glacier to destroy the whole operation?
It's a possibility, isn't it?
Well, a pretty far-fetched one, if you ask me. Change the course of a glacier?
A few sticks of dynamite carefully placed.
Oh, come off it, Bill. Did you ever see a glacier?
Well, why should one that's been following the same path for thousands of years suddenly decide to head for a few $1 million worth of well-insured property? Look, go up there and take a look, will you?
Okay, how do I get there?
One of the company's planes is taking off from here tomorrow morning.
They have their own airplanes?
Oh, sure, a lot of them. Big 2-engine Speedcraft transports. How else do you think they'd get men and supplies up there? Anyway, you can go along with him. Okay?
Okay, why not? Who knows? Maybe I'll strike it rich, come back loaded with nuggets. Item 2, $31 even for my room at the Benjamin Franklin and a night on the town. The following morning, well, I suppose I should have wondered why a big cargo plane should take off from a tiny airport far out of town with only the pilot and me on board. Yep, I should have wondered.
Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
And now for another episode in the life of Sergeant Donald Bellwether, my husband.
Good morning, Mrs. Bellwether. Would my lady prefer to have her breakfast in bed this morning?
Oh, what a perfect husband. Thank you, darling.
Here's the tray with the coffee, the toast, and the orange. Oh, fine. I forgot the orange juice. Hold the tray, honey. I'll be right back. Ooh,
Oh, darling, what happened?
Oh, I stubbed my toe in the corner of the dresser.
Oh, the National Safety Council was right.
The what?
Last night I read something in a National Safety Council pamphlet.
Oh, Reba,
And-
how can you sit there talking about a pamphlet when I'm dying a slow, tortuous death?
Oh, come over here, darling. I'm sorry.
All right. Now, what's this about the National Safety Council? Did they predict I would stub my toe this morning?
No, silly. It's just a coincidence. Only last night I read the statistics that prove that more home accidents occur in the bedroom of all places.
Yeah?
Not the bathroom or the kitchen or the home workshop. The bedroom.
Okay, from now on, when I walk around the bedroom, I'm going to wear my combat boots instead of these open-toed huaraches.
Well, that might help, dear. But what everyone should be most careful of is taking medicine in the dark.
Okay, my living safety encyclopedia. I will now fetch your orange.
Oh, you're sweet. And it's just too bad that you nice men are so prone to accidents in the home. And the reason is because you brave men usually tackle the hazardous jobs around the house.
Hey, I'll remember those kind words as I slowly limp back to the kitchen.
One thing in your favor, though, Sarge. Married men stand a better chance of avoiding fatal accidents in the home.
Is that a fact?
Mm-hmm. You know, in one state, 75% of the men involved in home mishaps were unmarried.
Well, I'm sure glad I'm married.
Because the accident odds are better?
Because I like my wife. Even when she first wakes up in the morning.
That's my Donald. That's my doll.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Midnight Sun Matter.
Within a few minutes after I met him at the airport far east of town the next morning, Cliff Murray had the big twin-engine Speedcraft airborne, and we were heading north to Alaska.
And in case you're interested, Dollar, you're the co-pilot on this run.
Oh, are you kidding? The only things I've steered around the sky since the war have been Piper Cubs, small jobs.
You know something? When you get onto them, these babies are not only just as easy to fly, but a whole lot safer. Want to take over for a while?
Well, maybe later. Hey, how come you didn't take this big ship off at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport?
Because of the cargo we have on board. Also, it was quicker and easier to get clearance. We're trying to make time on this trip. The boys up at the mine are a pretty worried bunch these days.
Oh, why?
Now, there's a big glacier on one side of the property.
Oh.
It flows down to make the Kanakai River. When it gets warm enough, a couple of months in the year to melt.
That's so?
But there have been a couple of big ice quakes this spring. Just like earthquakes, only it's ice. And now that glacier's heading for the property.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's going to wipe out the airport and everything. Unless they can do something about it.
Like what? Divert the course of a glacier?
The engineers up there say they can do it. And we've got the stuff for them right here. This cargo we're toting.
What do you mean?
Oh, didn't you know?
No what?
Well, we got enough TNT aboard to move a dozen glaciers.
Speaking of sitting on a powder keg, and this one had wings. But then after the first shock of realization wore off, well, I even took up Cliffy on his offer to handle the controls for a while. And he was right. The big plane behaved like a doll. By the time we reached Anchorage to pick up mail and food, why, I was all set to make the landing myself. However, with a cargo of TNT aboard, I was perfectly content to let Cliff set her down, which he did beautifully. Then within the hour, we headed north again over some of the wildest country I've ever seen.
Beautiful, though, Johnny. In its own way.
Yeah, I never realized there were so many lakes and streams up in this country, Cliff.
Most of them are loaded with fish, too.
Oh?
Yes, sir. Stop. Ooh.
Oh, what is it?
I said, greatest fishing in this man's world is right down there below us.
Oh, what's your language, brother? I'm liable to strap on a chute and leave you to make the rest of the trip alone.
A fisherman, huh?
Yeah, you aren't kidding.
Yeah, one of my favorite spots, right? Ooh.
Hey, what's the matter?
Nothing. Just a little twitch in my side, my belly. Doc said it was appendicitis last time, but I think didn't want to operate unless... Holy... Baby, that was a sharp one.
Cliff, anything I can do?
No, it's going now.
Sure hope so.
Sure. It just came on kind of sudden, so. Hey, it's time to call the lads at the mine to be ready for us.
How big is the airport up there?
11,000-foot runway.
Really?
Sure. It's the only way to get stuff in for mines 100 miles around. Speedcraft 231 calling consolidated. Go ahead, please.
Somebody on duty there at all times?
24 hours.
Roger, 231, go ahead.
We're over Fairbanks on the hour, Charlie.
Roger, Cliff, over Fairbanks at 1400 hours.
Then roll out the carpet. We'll set down between 14:45 and 50.
Roger, Cliff, we'll be ready for you.
And that's that. In less than an hour, Johnny, Johnny, take over.
Sure, Cliff.
Never been this bad before.
Now listen.
No. You listen. No matter what happens, take it easy. I'll tell you exactly what to... You can do it, Johnny. You can do it. Now listen.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
With your permission, there's something I'd like to talk about for a minute. You know, too many times people try to escape from their responsibilities by having someone else take them over. There was Miles Standish, for example. He was much too busy to ask Priscilla to marry him, so he sent John Alden to pop the question for him. You know what happened. John ended up marrying the girl himself. Of course, if John had had a face like a flat tire instead of being the handsome guy he was, maybe Miles Standish would have married Priscilla instead. Well, actually, I don't know what got me started on this subject, and unless it was my thinking about people who represent somebody else. Take our State Department, for example. Being a representative is one of its biggest jobs. Through the Foreign Service, it helps the Justice and Treasury Departments handle immigration, narcotic, and quarantine problems. And the Secretaries of Agriculture and Commerce look to the Secretary of State to help keep their fingers on the pulse of foreign markets so they can keep the business firms and farmers of America informed on matters of import and exports. I guess the only connection between these facts and the courtship of Miles Standish is that, like John Alden, our State Department speaks for itself.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Midnight Sun Matter.
The rest of this report will have to come to you from the records of the airport there at Universal Consolidated Mining Corporation, far above the Arctic Circle. Aboard the big cargo plane loaded with TNT, the pilot crippled with pain, I was a little too busy to make notes to scribble any fancy dialogue. Here, then, is the story as recorded at the tower of the airport.
The time is 2:35.
Well, there goes the boss's plane to pick up his daughter in Fairbanks, Charlie.
Hey, Paul, isn't Cliff about due with 231? He said he'd sit down at a...
Speedcraft 231 calling consolidated.
Hey, is that Cliff?
Speedcraft 231 calling consolidated.
It doesn't sound like him. Hello, Cliff?
No, this is Johnny Dollar.
Dollar?
Yeah, it's his passenger. Go ahead, Johnny.
Cliff is... Well, look, I've had to take over for him. He's sick. Cliff will give me whatever instructions I need.
You sure you can make it, Johnny?
Johnny, this is Cliff.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Johnny can make it.
Well, what about that cargo, that TNT? Can you dump it?
I can't move to dump it, and Johnny can't leave the controls.
Okay, then, Johnny, we'll give you all the help we can from here.
Thanks, Charlie.
Have you passed the Snake River marker?
In about 2 minutes, I think.
Okay, now just remember your letdown is on a heading of 035 degrees from that marker.
035 degrees from the Snake River marker, roger.
And, well, now just take it easy, Johnny, and we'll get you down here okay.
Thanks, Charlie.
Well, it looks like we may have a problem on our hands.
Listen, if Cliff says Dollar can bring it down, he can. Just you take it easy when you talk with him. sure, Johnny. Stand by.
Take it, Paul.
Johnny, this is Paul Foster. Go ahead.
Paul, we're having some trouble getting our landing gear down. So I'm going to make some steep banks and try to get it down by centrifugal force.
Yeah, good.
You might get the ground crew to stand by, though, because if we can't get the gear down that way, I guess we'll have to make a belly landing gear up.
Okay, Johnny, I got that. How much fuel have you got on board?
About 2,000 pounds.
Johnny, this is Charlie again. Now listen.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Johnny, I saw you make your pass. It appears the landing gear door is partially open, which may indicate it's jammed.
Any suggestions?
Paul again, Johnny. The only thing I can think of is try to snap the gear out by a sharp pull-up to give it centrifugal force.
I've tried that, Paul. Results are negative.
All right. Then before we consider you coming in for a belly landing with all that TNT aboard, I'd like to use up some of that fuel. Maybe some of our brains down here can think of something that'll help you out.
Okay, we'll go ahead with the regular procedures and whatever else we can think of, and then we'll give you another call.
Okay, Johnny.
The time is 2:41.
Johnny? Johnny, this is Paul again. Have you tried to shear the lock pin on that landing gear? Go ahead.
Negative. No, we haven't tried that yet. We want to make sure the doors were not jammed partially closed and perhaps make it impossible to get all the gear up again. You know, if we do have to make a belly landing.
Yeah. Okay. Johnny, have you got full hydraulic pressure?
Yes, that's affirmative.
Okay. Now, the crew chief isn't up here at the moment, but I'll ask him to come up and he can discuss it with you.
Right.
Johnny, if it does become necessary to make a belly landing because of the setup they have for handling accidents, you might be better off to do it at Fairbanks. Have you thought about that?
I talked to Cliff here. He doesn't think they'd want us to try it with this TNT we've got aboard.
Well, we'll radio to him and see. Meanwhile, if anybody comes up with any idea at all, we'll pass it on to you right away.
Okay. I'll give you a gas check in a few minutes.
Okay.
The time is 2:50.
Johnny, Don Wilkins, our chief engineer, would like to talk to you. I'll put him on the horn.
Johnny, this is Don Wilkins. Have you tried the landing gear handle up and down quite a few times to see if it extends any further at any time?
Yeah, we've tried it several times.
Well, I think I'd try it as many times as possible, Johnny. There could be something binding that may break loose. Now, there's something on it. Well, it comes off the gear door latches, all right, so it isn't a latch.
I'll try it a few more times.
The time is 3:00. Exactly.
Johnny, this is Paul. How's your fuel situation stacking up now?
We have about 950, about 960 pounds.
Well, for your information, Fairbanks have advised that they can't take your airplane there because they're jammed up and couldn't clear the field in time.
Well, yes, okay. It doesn't look like we'd have enough gas to go over there anyway.
Johnny, this is Don Wilkins again.
Go ahead, Don.
If you feather the number 2 engine, and then just as you unfeather it, slam the gear handle down, well, maybe the additional torsion that you get may free the gear.
Okay, Don, we've already tried that and we came up negative. I think we're stuck with that belly landing.
Johnny, this is Paul. We'll get everything ready for you. Are you VFR in this vicinity? You know, under visual flight rules?
Yes, affirmative.
Johnny, there's one more thing we'd like to have you try, and that is completely unload your hydraulic system, and then try free-falling your landing gear. Did you get that?
I did that twice, Don. No luck with it. But we'll try it again.
All right, Johnny, fine.
The time is 3:28.
Johnny, we're going ahead with preparations for a belly landing down here. I see you buzzed the field a couple of times, so you know how much room you've got.
You think it looks like much from up here?
Now listen, we're going to foam the runway for you. You hear me? Put foam on it. We're doing it now, and that'll kill some of the friction. And if we can get enough on, it'll help against fire if you have any trouble.
the wind down there?
It's south, about 3 miles an hour, just light breeze.
Well, I wanted to know in case this thing slides off to one side or the other, right? I don't want to run down any of the other airplanes I can see down there. Not if we can help it.
Okay, Johnny, take a run directly over the runway and get the feel of it.
Will do.
The time is 3:31.
Johnny, we don't want to seem in the position here of telling you all your business, but I guess we've got to try everything anyone could think of.
Yeah, go ahead.
On this gear handle business, up and down, throw it in the up position. But just leave it there for a second, and then slam it down and leave it down for, say 30 seconds after you put it down. You get that?
Okay, we'll do that.
We hate to be giving you all this intelligence all the time, but if anybody gets an idea, we pass it on to you for what it's worth. But you've got to be the judge.
We're glad you fellas are with us.
The time is 3:46.
Johnny, how's your fuel now?
I wouldn't bank on it much longer.
All right. They're laying foam on the runway like crazy, but that foam's only going to last about 25 minutes. Now, assuming they started laying the foam at 30, you should land not later than 55.
Yes, well, okay. You give us a word when it's completed. We're going to make one low pass and take a good look at everything. Then we'll come in and land. Okay?
Roger. I got your remarks.
The time is 3:51.
Hi, Johnny. I just wondered how you are and how things look to you.
Okay. You got a doctor standing by to take care of Cliff?
Sure. Everything's ready for you. One comment. Listen. Do not, repeat, do not feather the engines when you sit down.
Got it. We'll comply.
Okay, Johnny.
Okay, we're all set, Don. We're going to make a practice pass over the field prior to the final landing.
Okay, Johnny, I won't be talking to you anymore. Paul will take over on your approach and get you down. We're all set for you when you arrive. Good luck.
Yeah. Okay.
The time is 3:54.
One minute, 48 seconds later, we made a wheels-up landing. Cliff? The company doctor tells me his appendectomy was a complete success. A hard-bitten bunch of miners, did you say? Listen, those boys up in that lonely outpost are the salt of the earth. And as for trying to pull something on your insurance company, well, you should have seen how just one good load of TNT put that glacier back on its course. Yes, sir. I hope the vein of gold never runs out for those boys. Expense account total, including gifts for the lads who really brought that plane down, $600 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Gene Tatum, Frank Nelson, Russell Thorson, Barney Phillips, Harry Bartell, and Forrest Lewis. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Roy Rowan speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Hollywood. It's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Fritz Melchior at Star Mutual.
Fritz, I can't think of anybody I'd rather hear from.
What?
Every insurance case you've called me on has put a lot of dough in my pocket.
Well, now,
And
Johnny...
it just happens that right now I can use a few extra bucks. Quite a few. So what's the deal?
Well, as a matter of fact, I hadn't thought in terms of any fee on this one.
Oh.
But of course, we'll pay whatever expenses you may incur.
Oh? You, trust me with my expense account, Fritz?
Are you kidding? Of course not.
Okay, then, now that we understand each other, what's the problem? Or rather, who's the problem?
John Wakefield Edwards. Ever hear of him?
No, I can't say that I have.
Retired businessman. Leather goods, I think it was. He lives just outside of Albany, New York.
So what's happened to him?
Well, nothing that I know of. But he has a lot of insurance with us, including a straight life policy worth $155,000.
How old is he, Fritz?
In his late 60s.
Married?
His wife died, 3 or 4 years ago.
Then who's the beneficiary?
His adopted daughter, Marilyn.
And how old is she?
In her late 20s. She's a very attractive girl, I understand.
Then who cares about a fee? Fritz, I'll take the assignment.
Easy, Johnny. You probably won't even see her.
Oh, why not?
But she lives and works over in Troy.
Well, what's happened to the old man?
Well, he called me a few minutes ago and asked, or rather demanded, that I send you over to see him immediately.
Yeah, why?
He wouldn't say. What he did say, though, just before he hung up, is that under no circumstances are you to let her know that you're coming.
Meaning Marilyn?
I would assume so.
I wonder.
So do I, Johnny. So if I were you, I'd hop on over there.
Tonight?
Well, first thing in the morning?
Okay, Fritz, we'll do.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Star Mutual Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the hair-raising matter. When a beautiful girl and a fortune are involved, well, instead of waiting until morning, I got out my car and drove over to Albany. Item 1, 1720 for mileage. I arrived shortly after midnight, checked in at the Sheraton Tenike, and although I was pretty tired, I ran up item 2, a dime for a phone call.
Yes, this is John Wakefield Edwards.
Johnny Dollar, Mr. Edwards.
Well, why do you waste your time and money calling me? I told Fritz Melchior to send you up here.
I'm right here in Albany, sir.
Oh, good.
Do you want me to come out and see you right away? It's pretty late.
No, first thing in the morning will be all right. I'm sure nothing will happen before then.
Nothing will happen.
I'll expect you to have breakfast with me.
I beg you... What was that?
I said be here at breakfast. 7:30 sharp.
Oh, okay. But now, just what did you mean about nothing will happen?
I'll tell you about it in the morning. Goodbye, Mr. Dollar.
Well, now, wait a minute. Look. You're the boss. Why, oh, why didn't I call him back? Demand to know what it was that he was expecting to happen. For it obviously tied in with his wish to see me. But I guess I was tired after the long drive, and he seemed to think the morning was time enough. So I hit the sack. Early in the morning, some coffee sent up to my room, and then the hotel bill came to $9 even. That's item 3. And by 25 minutes after 7, I swung onto the long, winding drive that led up to the front of the Edwards mansion. It was in a wealthy residential section, a couple of miles north of the city proper, and sat in the middle of what must have been a full acre of beautiful trees and gardens. As I approached the house, I noticed a car parked out front, a sleek, new little sports car. The door was open, and the good-looking kid got out of it and was just about to climb in. As I pulled her up to a stop, she stood there looking at me questioningly. This is the Edwards home, isn't it?
That's right. You want to see somebody?
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, Mr. Edwards sent for me.
Oh, really? Are you an old friend of his?
Oh, know it should.
Oh, that isn't what I mean...
No, my name is Johnny Dollar.
John... The insurance detective or investigator or whatever you call it.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, hi. I'm Marilyn Edwards.
Well, hi.
I should have guessed he'd send for someone like you, Johnny. Come on in.
Why do you say that, Marilyn?
Well, Daddy seemed to be worried about something lately.
You know what?
No, at least I'm not sure. That's why I thought I'd stop by this morning before going to work.
Oh, I thought you were just leaving.
No, I just got here. Just before you arrived.
What do you do for a living?
Don't laugh. I'm a model.
Oh.
And stop raising your eyebrows. After all, somebody has to pose for those ads for dishpan hands.
Oh, sure.
Shall we go in and see Daddy? That is, if he's up.
Well, he'd better be. I have a breakfast date with him at 7:30, and it's now exactly 7:31.
Then we better go in. Hi, Daddy. Daddy? Durkin? Durkin!
I hear you. Your foster father hasn't come down yet.
Johnny, this is Durkin, Daddy's housekeeper.
Now, what is breakfast prompt at 7:30, and I ring the bell, and he don't come down for it.
Durkin, stop it.
Stop it! There now. That's the third time.
Third time? Daddy, not punctual? I think I better go up and see.
I'll go with you.
I heard his alarm clock go off 3/4 of an hour ago, so there's just no excuse.
Daddy?
Wait a minute,
What is it, Johnny?
I thought I caught a whiff of cordite.
Cordite?
But no, I guess not.
Daddy? Johnny?
Johnny! Oh, no!
I'm afraid so, Marilyn. He's dead. Together with Marilyn Edwards, adopted daughter of John Wakefield Edwards, I found his body in his bedroom slumped over to the desk. There was no sign of any wound, no evidence of foul play. Without touching the body, I phoned the Albany Police Homicide Division, and within minutes, Sergeant Christie arrived with Dr. Walter Mencken in tow. The doctor's examination was brief but very thorough, including several on-the-spot tests for poisons of any kind.
How old did you say he was, miss?
I didn't, Doctor. But he was 68 or 9, I think.
And he hasn't been sick?
No, not that I know of. Miss Durkin, the housekeeper, would know better than
He
I.
hasn't had a day of sickness since he caught that cold last spring.
Yeah. Well, his pump gave out, that's all. Can't expect that in a man his age.
Johnny.
Yeah, I know. But you're doing okay.
You didn't find anything, did you, Chris?
Oh, not a thing, Doc. Why they bothered to call us in instead of his own doctor?
Yeah. Of course, if you folks want, I can order an autopsy.
Oh, no. That would be terrible.
And down it goes to natural causes. Time of death, approximately 7:15.
Doctor.
And I expect you can carry on from here, can't you, miss?
I'll take care of things.
Yeah, and if he can't, I will. Beginning with closing these windows. There. Anybody wants to freeze me?
Well, come on, Sergeant. Back to the morgue.
Oh, the morgue.
Oh, Johnny. Easy, down.
Better? Well, you two want some breakfast? Ain't gonna do him any good now.
Durkin, how can you... But I suppose we may as well, Johnny, and do whatever we have to do here.
There was something mighty wrong here, yet I couldn't put my finger on it. Had I really caught the smell of cordite before we entered that room? It was too late to tell now, even with the windows closed. Those windows. It was a cold morning. Had he left them open while he dressed? Marilyn, heir to his big insurance policy. Had she really just arrived when I got there? If the housekeeper, Durkin, had been in the kitchen making breakfast, it would have been easy for someone to sneak in and... But who? And why? And what about Durkin? Now, wait a minute. The police medic said death due to natural causes. No poison, no wounds of any kind. So that's that. The undertaker must have been hungry for business because he got there before noon and took the body away. Meantime, of course, I'd questioned both Durkin and Marilyn pretty thoroughly.
Enemy? Oh, no, Johnny. Daddy didn't have... Johnny, you keep talking as though you think he might have been murdered.
Does anyone beside you benefit from his death, Marilyn?
That's a horrid thing to say.
I do.
Durkin, what are you doing snooping around this way?
Well, it's as much my affair as yours now that Mr. Edwards is gone.
What do you mean by that, Durkin?
I mean the money he left me in his will. And the codicil in his will that says Marilyn's got to share the insurance with me if she collects.
Durkin.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, everybody knows her and her father, her foster father, ain't been getting along too good ever since she decided to get out and earn her own living, or tried to.
I've been getting along all right.
Sure. And all the attention you've been giving your dear daddy these last couple of years. Why, today's the first time you've been in this house, and...
That doesn't mean that Daddy and I haven't... Durkin, we wish to be left alone. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Marilyn, I want to go up and look at your father's room again.
All right, if you like. And I'll go along with you.
No, thanks. I'd rather do it alone.
Oh?
And what did I find? Nothing. Sure, there were a couple of old bottles of hair tonic hidden away under some shirts. But after all, I mean, at his age. And that funny little thing on his dressing table, there was a little, well, hat stand, I guess you'd call it, the kind you find in a woman's hat shop. You know, a little wooden stand about 8 or 10 inches high.
Johnny, look.
Huh? Where did you get that?
After what you said downstairs, I guess I began to wonder...
It's special.
So I looked around outside, for footprints or... Well, I don't know what I was looking for.
And you found this handgun?
It was in the middle of a myrtle bush. It was Daddy's gun.
Oh?
And see? One shot has been fired.
Yeah. I also see you've carefully put your fingerprints all over it.
Oh.
Hey, what? Fine. Now, my prints are all over it. So if it was used to... What am I talking about? If there'd been a shot, Durkin would have heard it. What's more, there would have been a bullet wound, and there was no sign of anything in the... Wait a minute. Marilyn, maybe there was.
New 6 roll. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the hair-raising matter.
My hunch was right. I was sure of it now. I told Miss Durkin and Marilyn to stay there at the house and wait for me, then jumped into my car and drove into Albany to the undertaker's.
Here we are, Miss Dollar. The embalming room is right here. Though I must confess we haven't had opportunity to prepare Mr. Edwards' body yet.
Good.
We've been rather rushed all day.
Yeah, sure. Now, where is he?
Right over. Yes. Here we are. Was he a relative of yours?
No. Just...
Wait a minute. What are you doing?
Just, trying to make sure that a crazy hunch I had is...
Look here now. Are you trying to pull his hair out?
No. Off.
What?
I think.
Now, look here, young man.
Look. Do you see what I'm trying to do here?
What? Yeah. Good heavens, I can't believe it. We would never have noticed it.
I don't think anybody would have. But it's a hairpiece, all right. Just big enough to cover a small bald spot.
It matches the rest of his hair so perfectly.
Hey, you got some kind of a solvent? I don't want to have to rip it off.
Why, yes, I think we have. To be here somewhere.
Sure, those old bottles of hair tonic. Probably hadn't used them in years. But that little wooden stand, sure, he parked his wig on it.
What did he say?
And probably nobody knew that he wore it except himself. And somebody very close to him.
Here, Mr. Dollar. Here, this will remove the toupee without damaging it.
Yeah, good.
But I don't understand why you want to take it. Good Lord.
Yeah. Right in the middle of his bald spot. Covered up by the hairpiece. And the bullet that made it was a .38 special. Marilyn, you say you didn't get here this morning until I did.
Yes, Johnny?
You're sure?
Yes, Johnny.
Come on up to his room again. Where's Durkin?
In the kitchen, I guess. Johnny, you have a funny look. I mean...
Yeah, come on. I'll tell you this much. Your father was murdered, all right.
You sure of that?
Yes, you bet I am. Now, look here, on his dressing table. You know what this is?
Of course. It's a little hat stand I used when I was a kid.
What's it doing here?
I don't know. Funny. I never really noticed it before.
How long did Daddy wear a toupee, Marilyn?
A what?
Toupee, a hairpiece.
Oh, never. He was always very proud of his hair.
You're sure about that?
Of course I am. For a long time, he always used to smell of hair tonic when he came downstairs
Well,
in the morning.
Well, it just happens that you're wrong.
What?
A small, very well-made hairpiece covered the bald spot where he was shot this morning. With this .38 you say you found outside.
But I did. Honestly.
All right, I believe you. In spite of the way you covered up any fingerprints that may have been on it.
You did too, Johnny.
Yeah, that's right. Now listen. That leaves only one person who could have known about the hairpiece, have killed him, and then covered up the bullet wound with it. I knew I'd smelled burnt gunpowder when we first came up here.
Johnny, do you think that...
Yeah, but to prove it, well, I've got to try a bluff. Yeah, see if I can bluff her.
I can't believe it. Yet with him dead, she'd have money, more money
Hold
than...
it, Marilyn. Well, Durkin?
So you're back. Where you been, anyway?
Checking up on something. Something I should have suspected last night when I talked to Mr. Edwards on the phone.
What do you mean, Johnny?
Line clicks. That meant somebody was listening in on the phone downstairs.
Don't look at me. I didn't even know you called him last night. I was in bed asleep.
Were you, Durkin? What I was just checking on at police headquarters...
Police headquarters?
Yeah, was a set of fingerprints I found on a glass you'd been using in the kitchen.
What?
I wanted to compare them with some prints I found on this gun.
Well, that's Mr. Edwards' gun.
The one you used to kill him?
That's a lie.
Is it the fingerprints match?
No, that's a lie. I wiped them off the gun.
Before you threw it out the window?
Yes.
Then opened the other windows to let the smell of powder out?
Yes, I wiped them off. At least I thought I did.
Okay. Let's go. Don't worry. There'll be no part of the insurance or any other money for Durkin. The courts will take care of that. And probably with vengeance. As for Marilyn, well, you know something? There's a gal I think I'd like to see again. And I don't mean because of her fortune. Expense account total, including all the mileage on my car, $47.50. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment. Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a little jade statue is the key to one of the cleverest plots I've ever seen. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Shirley Mitchell, Jack Edwards, Ralph Moody, Junior Matthews, and Parley Bear. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cumberly speaking.
It's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Hi there, Johnny. This here is Sidewinder Wilson.
Oh, well, what can I... Who did you say?
Sidewinder Wilson, you know, out here in Bumswung, Oklahoma.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean that old friend of Durango, Laramie Dalhart?
I sure do. Unless you've forgotten it, I'm the man that helped you find Durango that time he disappeared.
Sure, of course you did, Sidewinder. If it hadn't been for you, he'd never have found the old coat.
Yes, sir.
Well, what's on your mind?
Well, if you should just happen to mosey out here to Bumspung, well, Johnny, I think I could show you something that'd make your eyes pop out all over your head.
Sidewinder, is this an insurance matter?
Now, you don't think I'd be calling on you if it wasn't, do you?
What's it all about?
Well, I'll tell you when you get here.
Well, now, Sidewinder,
I'll be waiting for you at Durango's ranch. So long, Johnny.
Well, now, wait a minute. Sidewinder.
Bob Bailey in the intriguing adventures of a man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
With your permission, we'd like to talk shop for just a moment. CBS Radio Shop. Recently, one of the foremost publications in the broadcasting field polled 465 critics and editors. The question, which radio network programs do you rate tops? When the answers from these 465 experts were tabulated, the final ratings were, to put it mildly, overwhelmingly one-sided. Total honors accorded CBS radio programs exceeded those of all the other networks combined. Let's put it another way. The final verdict of hundreds of critics, reviewers, and editors was that CBS Radio had more top shows than all other networks put together. CBS Radio was pleased, naturally, at the result of the poll, but not surprised. Great programming is no accident. It's long been a policy of this network to devote every effort to maintaining highest broadcast standards, to making sure CBS Radio listeners hear the best entertainment, the most authoritative information. Whatever listening fare is for you, you can be sure you're hearing the best when you're tuned to CBS Radio. And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Floyd's of England, North American Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Fairweather Friend matter. All of Durango's insurance was handled by Floyd's of England, so that would have to be the company that Sidewinder was talking about. Expense account item one, $1.20 for a taxi to Floyd's headquarters in Hartford in the office of George Reed.
Well, this is a switch, Johnny. You're coming here.
George, I just got a call from that town out in Oklahoma with the unlikely name of Bumspung.
The old Indian name, I understand. It means bad spring, bad water.
Yeah, it was from a friend of Durango, Laramie Dalhart's, an old character by the name of Sidewinder Wilson.
You know, of course, that Durango was here a few days ago.
Here in Hartford, and he didn't drop in to see me?
He dropped in to pay the $4,500 premium on that insurance he carries for the benefit of his niece, Carol Dalhart. He must think an awful lot of that girl.
Yeah? Well, who wouldn't?
What?
George, that Carol's a living doll. If I were ever to think seriously of getting married, well, believe me.
Well, what's the hitch? Does old Durango object?
Object? Far from it. Hey, tell me, did he pay off that premium in the usual brand new $100 bill?
Yes, and as usual, he peeled them off a roll that was big enough to choke a horse. Johnny, why that man carries so much cash around with him? Now, what did this fellow Wilson call you about?
Sidewinder wouldn't tell me.
Well, now, wait.
There was a robbery-murder case out there a while back in the little town of Fairweather.
Oh?
That's a few miles north of Enid, Oklahoma.
What happened?
Well, it was the messenger carrying some negotiable securities to the small bank there in Fairweather.
Ah, you get stuck for insurance on both the man and the securities?
Only on the messenger. The securities were returned.
By whom?
Well, neither the bank nor the police out there ever found out.
Funny. Do you suppose that's what Sidewinder called me about?
Well, there's only one way to find out, Johnny.
Which is to say that Floyd's of England will pay my expenses.
Well, now, within reason, of course.
Huh?
Well, why kid about it, Johnny? That freewheeling expense account of yours.
George, you sound as though you don't trust me.
Well, of course I do.
Oh? Well, you shouldn't.
Huh?
George, I'll be in touch. Expense account item 2, 9730, transportation. The plane dropped me off at Enid, Oklahoma, shortly after 6 p.m. Item 3, $2 even for some food. Item 4, a $50 deposit on a drive-your-own car. I drove north on Highway 81 then, after some 27 miles and after crossing the Salt Fork of the Arkansas, which, much to my surprise, had a trickle of water in it, I turned left on the rough dirt road leading to Bum Spunk. Finally, there it was. The same 2 or 3 acres of poor, barren, sandy soil. The ramshackle house and the remains of a barn, leaning tiredly on the timbers that helped to prop it up. And out in front were the same 2 sad-looking cows, the old and weather-beaten horse, a friendly, mangy, toothless hound who shook himself as he got up out of the dust and proceeded to assert his authority. And I still couldn't figure why Durango, who was worth millions in oil royalties, had ever chosen to settle down in this lonely, desolate spot. And yet, thanks to Carol, his attractive niece, the inside of that huge, unpainted house was clean, modern, well-furnished. I wondered if Carol would show up, but I saw no sign of the sleek convertible she always drove. Swinging open the sagging wire gate, I wondered if the ancient Maxwell, parked at one side, belonged to Sidewinder Wilson. I didn't have to wonder for long. Hey, you crazy old coot!
Yippee!
Sidewinder! What the Sam Hill's the matter with you?
Welcome to Bum Spung, Johnny.
Oh, listen, you wild old character. Put that thing down or I'll start throwing some lead around myself.
With that little 38 lemon squeezer of yours?
Why, you...
No, sir, Sonny. You wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, now, what's the big idea?
Well, I just wanted to show you that when Durango leaves me in charge of his ranch, he leaves it in good hands. And also, I wanted you to feel real welcome around here.
Yeah.
Now, how are you, Johnny boy?
Well, still in one piece, no thanks to you. The crazy way you and Durango have of making somebody feel welcome around here. Where is he, by the way?
Well, first he went to Hartford to pay up on his insurance. Then he flew down to Washington.
Oh, what for?
Well, to pay up on his income taxes. Wanted to make sure he got them in the right hands.
Well, now, he didn't have to go to Washington for that.
Well, he figures it makes it easier that way. He just carries along a big bundle of money and lets them take whatever they think is right.
Oh, no. Now, listen, Sidewinder.
Yeah?
Did you call me in connection with that bank messenger who was killed down in Fairweather?
That's right, Johnny.
I understand the securities he carried were returned to the bank.
Yes, sir. They were sealed up in a big envelope and laid on the front doorstep of that bank. And what I figure, Johnny...
You figure that if I can find out who sent him back the securities, I'll have a lead on the killer.
That's right. And, Johnny, I know who sent them back.
You do?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Well, who, Sidewinder?
Me, Johnny.
What?
Yes, sir. Me.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Are you going to write that letter today or put it off until tomorrow, or maybe the day after? How about that spring suit you plan to have altered? Will you take it to the tailor tomorrow morning bright and early, or will the week somehow glide by while the suit just hangs on in your closet? If you're a confessed procrastinator, you're not unique. The putting off habit can be mild or chronic, but some matters, serious matters, are highly dangerous to assign to mañana. One of the most important of these is getting protection from crippling, killing polio. When life-saving Salk vaccine was first introduced in 1955, it was hailed as a major medical discovery. Yet at the beginning of this current year,
Some 98 million Americans, the majority of our population, had not received even one inoculation. Why had all these people failed to take the simple measures necessary to gain protection from polio? If you were among them, this year, don't take a chance. Don't put off those polio shots any longer. Get in touch with your family doctor or local health department right away. And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Fairweather Friend Matter.
Come on in the house, Johnny, and I'll tell you about it.
Now, just let me get this straight, Sidewinder.
Huh?
The bank messenger down there in Fairweather was held up and murdered.
Yeah?
The securities he carried were stolen by the killer. Then they were returned to the bank.
That's right. And I'm the one who returned them.
Sidewinder, you... Now, look. Don't tell me that you're the one.
Me? You think that I'm the one that killed that messenger?
I didn't say that.
But that's what you were thinking, ain't it?
Well, you said yourself that whoever returned those securities...
I said whoever left them back at the bank. Now, just you stand real still, Johnny.
Oh, come on now. Put that thing down, Sidewinder.
And don't you move none.
Look, would you listen to me?
And maybe you even better stop talking, or that Sidewinder rattlesnake coming toward you might take it into his head to... Easy now.
Oh, yeah. I can hear him.
Easy now, whilst I get a bead on him with this study. A bead. Right in one eye, not t'other. And I'll just cut off his rattles and add them to my collection.
Oh, brother, thanks. No wonder they called you Sidewinder.
Yeah. That's the 427th rattle so I've taken off these varmints. I just don't like them, Johnny. They ain't like Diamondback. These Sidewinders around here will sneak up on a man. Just like that dirty snake that killed the bank messenger. And you know why he done it, Johnny?
You still haven't told me who he is.
It was to collect that insurance on him, that's who.
Oh?
Yes, sir. The man that killed him was his hair. What you call his beneficiary.
How do you know, Sidewinder?
Because I lived on the Fairweather. That is, when I ain't up here looking after Durango's place.
Yeah?
And that's how come I knowed that Claude Needles, that was the messenger, left his insurance to that no-count nephew of his and that Barney Gifford. Sit down.
Barney Gifford, huh?
Yeah. So what I done was talk it over with Durango and Carol Dalhart.
Where is Carol, Sidewinder?
I've been waiting for you to ask that, Johnny. Oh, she'll be around.
Good.
You're kind of sweet on her, ain't you?
Wow.
Nah, don't you try to fool me, Johnny boy. And you know how she feels about you, too. And if you don't think Durango knows, well, I'll tell you this.
You say you talked it over with her.
I'll tell you this, Johnny. Durango finds that you've been out here and went back to Hartford without hitching up with Carol.
Sidewinder, would you...
Well, I'll tell you this. He's liable to shotgun you into it if he catches you around here.
Oh.
And don't you try to tell me you wouldn't like being married to her, too.
Sidewinder.
Okay. So anyhow, me and Durango and Carol.
Carol.
Hi, Johnny. Oh, glad to see you.
Carol, I'm glad to see you.
Oh, then don't you stand there. Give me a kiss.
Oh, you think I need an engraved invitation? Come here. Oh, hiya.
Oh, don't stop, Johnny. It's been a long time.
If Durango could see this.
Oh, drop that, Sidewinder.
Yes, sir. He'd have that shotgun out so fast.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's been an awful long time, Johnny.
Oh, too long.
I thought you were never coming back here.
I'm here.
Uh-huh. So let's make up for lost time.
Oh, why not?
Oh, come on now. Come on, you kid.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Johnny, don't you want to hear the rest of what I was... Now, look here. If you don't cut loose from each other there, you know what I'll do. I'll walk right out of here, and I'll go back to Fairweather. And I'll send a telegram to old Durango, and I'll tell him you two are making out like this all alone inside of his house. And if that don't bring him out here to get you two married...
Oh, why don't you mind your own business?
Well, I tell
you old goat. Why don't you go somewhere and get lost?
But that's it. I'm going right down to Fairweather and send him a telegram.
No. Just settle down there, Sidewinder.
I'll settle down, Johnny, with you anytime, any place.
Oh, Carol, you're the only girl I know who makes me wish sometimes I was the marrying kind. But now listen.
I'll bet I can make you the marrying kind, Johnny. You like to give me a chance, huh?
Hey, that settles it. I'm leaving right now.
No, you aren't, Sidewinder.
Oh, let him go.
Let's just be sensible for a minute, will
I
you?
was trying to, Johnny.
I mean about this murder case.
And when we finish talking about it?
We'll see.
Well, then let me tell you about it. It won't take me so long. And Sidewinder, you stop making those silly eyes or I'll let you have one right between them.
Well, I still think I ought to leave.
So do I. But as long as you're already... Well, listen, Johnny.
I'm listening.
When Mr. Needles was killed, Sidewinder wanted them to make him a cop down there in Fairweather.
Or even just a deputy, so as I could go out and hunt for that killer. Claude Needles was a friend of mine.
But the police said no, they didn't need him, didn't want him.
So that made me sure.
So we talked it over about who could ever do a thing like that.
And that's when I remembered Barney Gifford would get the money from Claude's insurance.
So I told Sidewinder I'd have a date with Barney, and that would give him a chance to go through Barney's house and look for the security.
And I found him, Johnny, under a loose board in the floor.
Yes.
So when he come home, I lassoed him, and I tied him up, and I took him and locked him up in the tool shed on my place.
You didn't turn him over to the police?
Oh, the chief in that little old hick town told Sidewinder that if he interfered in the case, he'd lock him up.
That's what he said.
Well, look, nevertheless,
And that's when Durango, just before he left to go to Hartford, always has to be there right on time, you know, with that insurance payment.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's when Durango said to call you up on the phone.
Yeah. Sidewinder.
Huh?
I thought that was your idea.
No, Durango's. And also for getting Johnny out here to see you again.
What?
Why, sure.
Well, who does Durango think he is trying to run my life that way? What kind of a trick is that to pull on? Just you wait until he gets back here.
Is that my cue to leave these parts, Carol?
Well, it certainly... Oh, no, of course not, Johnny, but... Well...
All right, now. Sidewinder, where is this Barney Gifford?
Locked up in my tool shed.
Well, who's looking after him?
Oh, Pete Whaley, I told him not to let on to the police.
You sure he can handle a man like Gifford?
Oh, yes, Sidewinder.
Well, I don't see why
Hey,
not.
look, maybe we'd better drive on down there.
Well, sure, but wait till I answer that phone. It's probably Durango saying to hold on to you, Johnny. He's probably on his way.
If that's Durango, you tell him I've left.
Hello?
Now, you don't mean that, Johnny. I bet Durango really would make you marry me.
Oh,
Would that be
Carol.
so bad? Johnny.
Johnny. Carol.
Oh, why don't you stay on that... Sidewinder, what's the matter?
Listen, that was old Pete.
Yeah?
Barney got loose. Like to kill old Pete.
Oh, no.
And now Barney's coming here. Coming for me. To kill me.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi, drink light, refreshing Pepsi, stay young and fair and debonair, be sociable, have a Pepsi.
When friends drop in, let your hospitality show you're sociable in the modern manner. Pepsi, you know, is the favorite of the smart and young at heart.
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi, drink light, refreshing Pepsi, stay young and fair and debonair, be sociable, have a Pepsi.
Have you tried a Pepsi lately? And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Okay, then. If Barney Gifford's coming here, we'll be ready for him. We'll... Sidewinder, you aren't afraid of him, are you?
He's a bad one, Johnny.
But if Sidewinder was able to subdue him before...
Well, I caught him off guard, Johnny. He didn't have no gun then, but he has now. He took old Pete.
And Barney's a deadly shot. It's the only good thing you can say about him.
And don't you see, it's dark outside now. If we stay around here inside the house, we'll be like a flock of sitting ducks.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll stay inside.
You mean we'll just run away from him?
No. How long ago did he get away from Pete?
Well, Pete says it was more than an hour ago.
Then we haven't any time to waste.
What are you going to do, Johnny?
I know what you're going to do, Carol.
Yes?
Get out of here. Go on back to Enid. Tell the police. By the time they can get up here, Sidewinder and I will either have things under control or, well, then they can take over.
Why don't you phone the police?
Because I'm telling you to go on down there.
You're just trying to get me away from here, aren't you?
That's right.
No, Johnny. I can shoot just as good as you and Sidewinder, and there's plenty of guns in the back room.
No, Carol, that doesn't make any difference.
You think I'm going to leave you here with a killer after old Sidewinder, and if Barty finds you with him, he'll try to kill you,
Carol,
too.
will you just...
I won't go, Johnny. I won't leave you.
Okay. We're just wasting time. I haven't seen any car lights out on the road, but that doesn't mean that...
That's right, mister. It doesn't mean a thing.
Damn.
The front door had been pushed open by the barrel of a high-powered rifle that slowly fanned the three of us. I knew that if I made a move to draw my handgun, if Sidewinder took a step toward his .30-30 on the table, and if Barney was the excellent shot that Carol said he was.
All right. Put your hands up and come walking out this door.
Listen, Barney,
Shut up, do like I say.
Come on, Carol. Sidewinder.
Come on, don't try anything.
All right, Barney.
Not so brave now that I got the advantage, are you, Sidewinder?
All right. If you got to kill somebody, kill me. You leave them alone.
Now that they know all about me? No, sir. I'm going to kill all of you like I killed old Pete. Now, stop.
You keep your dirty hands off of me, you...
Keep them up, Carol. So you're not carrying a gun. I know that Sidewinder never carries it. But you do, don't you, mister? Thanks. And I think I'll use it to kill you. So if you want to put your hands down to pray...
Well, Sidewinder...
Yes, Johnny?
You think maybe this is retribution for that killing you did today?
Killing, Johnny?
Yeah, when I first got here. You remember.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, mister. But I'm not going to waste any time.
Barney,
Shut up, Carol. You're going to go first.
All right, now listen, Gifford.
And you, mister. And last of all, Sidewinder. Huh? What's that?
It's a snake.
It's a rattler. It's back of you, Sidewinder.
No. It's over next to Barney.
Where? I can't see it. Where is it? I'll kill it. Where is it?
Right here.
Oh. But that snake...
Oh, thanks, Sidewinder.
I'm sure glad I saved these rattles, Johnny.
What?
Yeah, so am I.
But I never would have remembered them if you hadn't reminded me about killing that snake.
You know something? I hated to leave that place. To leave Carol is what I really mean. But there was another phone call. Sidewinder answered it. And yep, it was from Durango, phoning from Enid. Durango was so tickled to learn I was still around that he promised to come out to the ranch as fast as he could.
Yes, sir, just as soon as he can pick up the preacher.
Sidewinder.
Well, much as I love that gal. Well, expense account total, including the trip back to Hartford and mileage on the rental car, $203.50. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
Be careful, you're going to land in a bathtub. Who's driving this flying saucer, you or me? Well, what do you see? Oh, germs. Millions and millions of germs. Sure, here on Earth, disease, germs, and viruses live in bathrooms. Wait, here comes a lady. She's putting a dash of Lysol in with those suds, and she's mopping the floor. Wow, look at those germs and viruses drop dead. Boy, are you stupid. I thought all Martians knew that Lysol brand disinfectant kills disease, germs, and many deadly viruses on contact. Disinfects from one cleaning to the next as nothing else can. That's right. I remember my 7 grandmothers saying Lysol makes your favorite cleaner work better, including many that claim to sanitize. I'm sorry you learned to speak English by listening to commercials. And Lysol comes in regular or pine fragrance for as little as 29 cents. How much is that in Martian money?
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, Well, getting away from Durango Laramie Dalhart isn't as easy as you might think. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Junius Matthews, G. Stanley Jones, James McCallion, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cumberly speaking.
Suspense is next over the CBS Radio Network.
WROW, Albany, New York. 10, 10, 10. Yes, 10 hours of price-shattering bargains at Henry S. Mantell Furniture, 343 River Street, Troy. This merchandise must be sold at once, at savings to you of up to 87%. Mantell's was unable to extend their Latham store lease, so the stock from the Latham store has been moved to Mantell's main store in Troy. Save on famous brand merchandise, Haywood Wakefield, Kraler, Simmons, Norge, Motorola, and many more. Buy a $339.95 two-piece living room suite for $199.95. Or a $34.95 famous Make Inner Spring mattress for $17.88. Or a modern bedroom set, regularly $259.95, now $139.95. This tremendous sale at Henry S. Mantell Furniture begins Monday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., and Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. The store will be closed during the day to mark down merchandise and arrange stock. Remember, there's no money down at Henry S. Mantell Furniture, 343 River Street, Troy.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Marty Bruce, Johnny, at Worldwide Mutual.
Oh, hi, Marty. How are you?
Did you ever hear of the Mei Ling Buddha?
Nope, I'm afraid I never.
It's probably the most valuable piece of jade there is. A little statue not more than 3.5 inches high, made during the Mei Ling dynasty.
And you've insured it?
Yes.
For how much?
$40,000.
So what's happened to it?
I don't know. I don't know if anything's happened to it.
Well, if nothing's happened to it.
I'm not even sure of that.
Huh?
That nothing's happened to it. Come on over here and let's talk about it, huh?
Yeah, I think I'd better.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Worldwide Mutual Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Mei Ling Buddha matter. Expense account item 1, $1.10 for a taxi from my little apartment to the office of Worldwide Mutual, where Marty wasted no time in getting to the point.
I'd know for sure if it weren't for that knuckle-headed Ray Kermer.
Who's he?
One of our account men. Got back from a European vacation just this morning. For being so stupid, I ought to fire him. He knew we'd insured that jade Buddha. And when he saw it over there in Paris a couple of weeks ago, he should have looked into it. Found out what it was doing there.
Doing just exactly where, Marty?
In a dingy little antique shop, somewhere on the Rue de la something or other. He didn't even have sense enough to get the address or the name of the place.
Oh, where was it supposed to be?
Locked up in the home of the late Darrell Harcourt up in Boston.
And of course it isn't.
Well, that's the point. I don't know. There's been no report of a theft.
Well, if somebody's seen it in Paris... Is that Buddha pretty well known among collectors and so on?
I told you. It's probably the most valuable piece of jade in the whole world.
Then let me use your phone.
Sure, here. But if we don't even know what shop or where it is in all of Paris...
Just leave it to me. My phone call was to a slimy little character whose name is de Marsac, but who calls himself the Chat Gris, the gray cat, who knows the Paris underworld like the back of his hand. He'd been a lot of help to me some months before in locating a painting that was stolen from my good friend and the actor and art collector Vincent Price.
Certainement, Monsieur Dollar. If you are willing to pay me well.
If you can dig up the information I want, I'll mail you a check for $100 American immediately.
Oh, no, Johnny.
Only 200, what you call bucks for my inestimable services? Oh, monsieur.
Okay, 200. Now listen. There's a little idol, the Mailing Buddha.
Yes, I know it well.
Oh?
I saw it only this morning, here in Paris.
Where?
At the shop of Monsieur Dubuisson on the Rue des Pas de l'Amour. Yes, it was smuggled in only a few weeks ago.
And the price on it?
Well, for such a rare and exquisite piece, most reasonable.
How much?
32 million francs.
That's around $80,000, so it must be the McCoy.
You wish me to, shall we say, obtain it for you?
You mean steal it?
But of course, monsieur. But for a price.
No, thanks. I'll send you a check.
You're giving him $200 just for that?
A lot cheaper than my flying over there.
Well, yes.
So now I'd better check at the home of this, what'd you say the name is?
Darrell Harcourt in Boston. I'll put down the address for you. Died about 2 years ago. Home's in charge of his old housekeeper, Mrs. Mary Haskell.
And I take it his property hasn't been disposed of yet.
His fine old tapestries and furniture, yes, will to various museums here.
Thanks.
Everything but the contents of Mrs. Haskell's room and the study. The latter he willed to a nephew, Charles Curtis, to be given to him the day he finishes at Harvard.
Well, that's a funny sort of arrangement.
Harcourt was a funny man. The Buddha was the only thing of real value in that room. And he figured it was enough to get his nephew started in a business of some kind.
I see. This Curtis boy get the house, too?
No. That goes to Mrs. Haskell after Curtis gets the contents of that one room.
Well, looks as though I'd better hie myself up to Boston and make sure that Buddha's really gone. Item 2, the $200 check to my informant in Paris, who was sure he'd seen the Mailing Buddha, was sure it had only arrived there recently. But if so, why hadn't it been reported missing from the home of the late Darrell Harcourt up in Boston? Item 3, $50 deposit on a rental car. When I reached Boston, I headed west on Beacon Street, a couple of miles beyond Kenmore Square, and there on a little side street found the Harcourt home. It wasn't much of a place anymore. The lawn and garden had been neglected, and the building itself was in need of repair. The doorbell was the old-fashioned kind.
Yes?
Mrs. Haskell, I'm Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator.
Oh, of course. Do come in, Mr. Dollar. Rather dismal, desolate, isn't it?
You live here all the time?
I am responsible for this house until the terms of the will are fully met.
That's when Charles Curtis finishes school.
Yes. Of course, my own quarters at the back are as tidy as they've always been, and Mr. Harcourt's study is exactly as it was when he passed away.
I want to see that study, Mrs. Haskell.
Oh, no, Mr. Dollar. It's to be left as it is until Master Charles opens it to claim his inheritance.
You're talking about the Mailing Buddha.
And the furniture and books and things.
How long since you've seen that little jade idol?
Why, not since Mr. Harcourt died. I locked the door, and it hasn't been opened since, except that
Well, I'm sorry, but I have to look around in there.
But, Mr. Dollar...
You have the key?
Of course. I keep it on this chain about my neck at all times.
Let me have it, please.
But, Mr. Dollar...
Listen, I can get a court order if necessary, but it would only waste time.
But how am I to know if you're even... Well, that is...
Here, my credentials. I'm a fully authorized agent of the company that insured that Buddha.
But I'm responsible.
Has it occurred to you, Mrs. Haskell, that the Mailing Buddha might possibly have been stolen?
That's impossible.
Is it? Okay, where's the study?
I'll go with you.
By all means.
And I'll open the door. Here, now.
This door looks a couple of inches thick.
Just like the one to the library, where Mr. Harcourt kept all his lovely tapestries. Oh, dear, look at all that dust.
Dust is right. It was on everything, the accumulation of a couple of years. On the desk, the chairs, the oaken floor, bookshelves, and tables. The room was dark and gloomy.
Yes, it looks just the same, except for all this horrible dust. But as I told you, Mr. Dollar, this is the first time the door has been opened.
Yeah. Now, where is the... Oops.
Oh, I hope you didn't hurt yourself.
No, I just didn't see it.
But he always insisted on keeping the electric fan on that little table next to the door.
Yeah. Now, where's the Buddha?
In the little wooden casket on the desk.
Now, let's see. Now. Well, I was afraid of this.
Afraid of what, Mr.? Oh, no. It's gone. The Buddha's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I searched the room thoroughly and found no trace of the mailing Buddha. Somehow, someone had got in that locked room and stolen it. It must have happened recently. A piece as valuable as that wouldn't be allowed to lie around for long. The Barsock had told me it arrived in Paris only a few weeks ago, and I had no reason to doubt it. But how could anyone possibly have got in there without leaving marks in the dust that swirled about our feet every time we moved? That showed a clear imprint of every step we made. That left a mark on everything I touched.
Oh, dear, Mr. Dollar, this is terrible.
You're sure you have the only key to this room, Mrs. Haskell?
Yes, it was entrusted to me to prevent this very thing. Oh, dear.
What about the nephew, Charles Curtis?
No, I'm sure he's never had one.
You think he could have got hold of yours and had a copy made?
No, impossible, Mr. Dollar. Oh, dear.
Where is he?
At school at Harvard.
I think I'd better see that boy.
Well, certainly you can't think that Master Charles did this.
I don't know what to think yet. Tell me, you're absolutely sure you've let no one in here since Mr. Harcourt died?
You can tell by the dust over everything that no one has been in here. Not for years.
You're sure of that?
Absolutely. Well, except for the federal tax man, of course, the appraiser for the estate.
Oh? When was that?
A month or so after Mr. Harcourt passed away.
And yet the piece showed up in Paris only a few...
I was with him, Mr. Dollar, and so was the attorney.
Who is the attorney?
Mr. Howard Bancroft in town.
Do you have his address?
His office is just off Copley Square.
Uh-huh. Then I've got two people to see, Charles Curtis and Howard Bancroft.
Mr. Dollar, about Master Charles. He's a good boy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
You simply can't think that he... And anyhow, no one could have gotten here without leaving a trail. Mr. Dollar...
Now, look, I want you to close up this room again and leave it closed. I'll be back.
Please, Mr. Dollar. About Charles, listen to me.
Maybe later, Mrs. Haskell.
Later?
Yeah. After I've talked to him. One thing puzzled me. If young Charles Curtis did steal the Buddha, why did he do it? After a few months more at Harvard, he'd get it anyway. And he'd be able to sell it on the legitimate market for a lot more than it would ever bring on the Paris black market. On the way in to look him up, I stopped at the office of the lawyer, Howard Bancroft.
I can't believe it, Mr. Dollar.
Well, the fact remains, Mr. Bancroft, that the Buddha's not only missing from the Harcourt home, but has turned up in Paris.
But the only person who had access to that room was Mrs. Haskell, in accordance with Mr. Harcourt's wishes.
That room hasn't been entered for years, until today. And yet, if the Buddha has shown up only recently...
I'm afraid I don't follow you, sir.
Mr. Harcourt willed it to his nephew, didn't he?
That's right. Charles Curtis, when he finishes school.
And he willed the house to Mrs. Haskell, didn't he?
Yes. And it will be little enough reward for her years of service to him.
How do you mean?
Mr. Harcourt paid her very little during all those years. She, and I too, quite frankly, felt she was entitled to a great deal more. You see, his really valuable things, the collection of tapestries, he willed to various museums.
So I understood.
They were kept in an hermetically sealed room, the library.
Hermetically sealed?
Practically. Didn't you notice the tremendous doors on the study and library, the sealed windows?
Then how could any dust...
What?
About Charles Curtis, Mr. Bancroft.
Admirable young man. In addition to the money his uncle always gave him, his own family is very wealthy, you know.
No, I didn't know.
Yes. They've given him everything he wants, and it hasn't spoiled him a bit.
Even during college?
He's an excellent, hard-working student. He's going to be a lawyer, Mr. Dollar, and he'll be a good one.
And maybe my thinking about him has been wrong.
Oh, definitely. Why, Mr. Dollar, he's planned to donate the mailing Buddha to a museum when it comes into his possession. So you see...
It's just that after handling more or less straight insurance cases for so many years, I almost instinctively suspect anyone close to the problem at hand. In this case, young Charles Curtis. Even Mrs. Haskell. Maybe even you.
I beg your pardon.
But I guess I'd better just shake the dust out of my brain and tackle this as a plain, ordinary... Wait a minute. Dust.
Eh?
It's a little matter of dust that really has me stopped. It makes it impossible for that room to have been entered since... Tapestries, you said.
I mentioned them.
Of course. How blind can I be?
Eh?
Look, you better get ready for some legal action on behalf of your client, the late Mr. Darrell Harcourt.
What?
I'm going to play a hunch, Mr. Bancroft. Maybe it's all wrong. Maybe it's crazy. But I'm going to play it to the hilt.
No. Mr. Dollar, you can't do this. You have no right.
Now, we'll see about that.
These are my own personal things. I don't believe you're an insurance investigator at
Please,
all.
whatever you like.
Have you a warrant to search my room this way? No. No, you're just some thief, some...
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. This bank book in your name.
No, you give me that.
Oh, no. Uh-huh. Some 20 years of a balance that never got above $600 or $700.
Give me that.
Here. 2 months ago, a single deposit of $21,000.
That was money
That was the money you got from some crook. We let the police run him down. Some crook who smuggled the mailing Buddha over to Paris after you stole it out of the study.
That's impossible, and you know it. That study hasn't been open for nearly 2 years. You saw the layer of dust in there yourself.
Oh, yes. You pointed it out to me half a dozen times. I should have caught on then. Come on. We're going into that study. Give me the key.
No, I won't.
Then I'll have to rip it off that chain around your neck.
All right. Here. You saw for yourself?
Yes, I saw it all right. And I didn't have sense enough to realize what kind of dust that was. Here now. Look at it. Full as earth.
What are you talking about?
About the old-fashioned method of cleaning fine tapestries with full as earth. That's the way Mr. Harcourt cleaned them, isn't it?
What difference does that make?
And there's probably a supply of it down in the cellar somewhere that he always kept on hand.
What if there is? That doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, I was blind. Blind as a bat when I knocked over this electric fan that didn't have any dust on it. Because it's what you use to spread the dust. The fine particles of full as earth all over this room. A little sackful, maybe, held in front of the fan.
Now, listen.
And it left proof, apparently, that nobody'd been in here for a couple of years. Yeah, it had me fooled. But not anymore. Better get your coat, Mrs. Haskell.
No. Mr. Dollar, I deserved far more from Mr. Harcourt for my years of service. And of watching him squander his money on the idle tapestries. And on that nephew who had money of his own. Now I have money. Plenty, Mr. Dollar. More than I need. I'm an old woman. But you're young. Perhaps you could use some of it. Perhaps $10,000 or $12,000.
You'll have to think of a better way out than that, Mrs. Haskell.
Please.
And you know something? I have a notion you're going to have time to think about a lot of things. Plenty of time. Yeah, I know. The mailing Buddha still has to be brought back from Paris. Maybe I'll get the assignment. Maybe it'll go to one of our regular foreign investigators. As for Mrs. Haskell, well, I'm sure Mr. Bancroft will lose no time in taking whatever steps are necessary. So, expense account total, including mileage on my rental car and a few incidentals, well, call it $300 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week? Well, far be it from me to get up on a soapbox, but I hope you'll make a point of listening to it. It concerns a lot of money in the wrong hands, in the hands of a bunch of kids too young to meet responsibility, too young to realize that cutting loose from family before they're ready can lead to trouble. In this case, murder. Yeah, I think you'd better hear it. So join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Paul Duboff, Will Wright, and Forrest Lewis. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Well, now that's nice. What can I do for you?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, it's quite all right, and it's granted. Granted. And now that's all you have to say.
No, wait a minute. Who are you?
Wait a minute. Well, what for? I'm busy. I'm a busy man.
Alvin Peabody Cartwright.
Who?
You.
That's right. Cartwright.
Well, what are you calling about, Mr. Cartwright?
Calling who?
Me.
Well, who are you?
Johnny Dollar. Listen.
Oh, well, Johnny, what a fortunate coincidence. You're just the man I want to talk to.
Coincidence?
Of course, that you happen to call me this way.
Well, I'm afraid it was the other way around. What's on your mind, Mr. Cartwright?
Johnny, I'm being threatened.
Oops, again?
Yes, sir. And since my life is insured by the Continental Insurance and Trust Company, well, that makes it an insurance matter.
Yeah, well, now look.
And I refuse to let anybody but you look into such matters. So, Johnny, I want you to come over here to Lakewood and see me. Right away.
Yeah, well, Mr. Cartwright, you're sure this isn't just some...
Yes?
Well, you know, a couple of times in the past, that is, these emergency calls of yours.
You think I'm joking? Well, I'm not. You failed to come here and protect me against this threat. And only two things can happen. First, I can be murdered.
And?
And second, I'll cancel all the rest of the insurance I have with that company.
After you've been murdered.
And so you get yourself on over here right away.
Mr. Hello? Well, here we go again. And yet, I wonder.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Continental Insurance and Trust Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the deadly chain matter. Thanks to Alvin Peabody Cartwright, I've been involved now and then in some real wild cases, real crazy. On the other hand, he's an erratic old eccentric, but extremely wealthy. As a result, he's not only been the target of a lot of rackets, but has come very close to being murdered more than once. So, item one on the expense account, $1 for a taxi to the office of Bill Ferguson at Continental Insurance and Trust.
No, Johnny, he hasn't said a word to me. He tell you what kind of threat he's received?
No, Bill. As usual, he told me nothing.
Well, it doesn't matter, but with the millions worth of insurance we've written for Cartwright, and I mean millions, and to be sure we don't lose his account to some other company, well, we can afford to pamper him a bit, which is to say we can well afford to pay your expense account, even if all he wants to do is say hello to you.
Okay, then, Bill. I'll run over to his home in Lakewood and see him.
Of course, if he really is being threatened...
Don't worry. I'll let you know about it. Expense account item 2, $5.70 mileage on my car to Lakewood. For my money, it's one of the prettiest little towns in all of New England, home of a lot of wealthy retired people. The Cartwright place, where the old man lives alone, sits on top of a low hill at one side of the lake, with 2 or 3 acres surrounding the fine old house. Hi, Mr. Cartwright.
Johnny Dollar. Oh, well, this is an unexpected pleasure.
Unexpected?
Come in, boy. Come in.
Oh, thanks. Well, sir, how are you this fine July afternoon?
Afternoon? It's almost evening. Can't you see that?
Well, how are you anyway?
Oh, I'm terrible, John. Oh, I'm just terrible. that rainy weather the past couple of days. I've hardly been able to talk.
Well, there's been nothing wrong with today. A lot of nice warm sunshine.
Today I've been feeling fine. Whatever made you think otherwise? Oh, and tell me, whatever brought you here to Lakewood?
A phone call, Mr. Cartwright.
Oh?
Yeah, from you. You said you wanted to see me right away.
I said I wanted to see... Oh, yeah. Oh, of course I did. And you know why?
Why, sir?
Because I refuse to do anything foolish, that's why. And yet if I don't, Johnny, I'll get myself killed. Just like Hector Kenworthy and Alpheus J. Perham.
If you don't what, Mr. Cartwright?
Carry on the chain letter I received.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Look here. Like this. Yeah, I read. You see what it says? Continue this chain, it says. And you will not only receive a lot of money when your name reaches the top of the list, but in exactly a dozen hours... A dozen hours is exactly 6 days, John. I figured that one out.
Yeah. Well, go on reading.
Yes, now here. In exactly a dozen hours, you will have unexpected great good luck.
Oh.
But if you break the chain, in a dozen hours, dire disaster will overtake you.
Oh, now, look. Surely you don't believe that kind of junk.
This very same letter was received by the two friends of mine I mentioned, Perriman out in Chicago and Kenworthy out in Los Angeles. They broke the chain. In exactly 6 days, they were both dead.
Coincidence?
Oh, no, sir. This is a vicious, murderous racket.
Well,
I'm sure of it.
Why do you say that, Mr. Carter?
Because of the way they died, Johnny.
Oh?
Yes.
Then maybe you'd better tell me about it.
But... Johnny, my good friend Kenworthy, out in Los Angeles, died exactly 6 days after he broke the chain of these letters. Just the way the letter said he would.
Coincidence, I tell you, Mr. Cartwright, or at most a result of some superstitious fear that the letter instilled in him.
No, sir.
Well, that's what these chain letters do. They hold out that phony, hollow promise of giving you something for nothing. And they scare you into doing it, work on your superstition.
Johnny...
And if you think superstition is dead in this enlightened age, you're wrong. Why, some of these chain letters even include a religious-sounding prayer for good luck.
Let me explain.
And you know the only people who profit by the letters that ask to send money? The people who start them, or maybe one or two others out of the millions who send them along. Millions of suckers, that is.
But, Johnny, that isn't...
Look, ask anybody you know, anybody who's ever carried on the chain, how much did they get out of it? Nothing.
Well, now, this one is only for an exclusive group of wealthy, retired people. So listen...
Oh, sure, but take my word for it, it's worthless.
But don't you see...
Even if it's one of those that doesn't require sending any money, you can be sure the crook who got it going either has some ulterior purpose or he's just a plain crackpot. Anybody who gets scared into going on with it ought to have his head examined.
Johnny, will you listen to me?
And if they want you to send money... Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cartwright. Go ahead. Just how did your friend in Los Angeles die after the dozen hours had passed?
Yes, well, now, the same as my other friend, Alpheus Perriman in Chicago.
Yeah, well?
They were both of them run over by a hit-and-run driver at exactly the time the chain letter said disaster would overtake them.
You know they're against the law, don't you? Chain letters for any purpose.
Of course they are, and they should be. But you just listen to this, and this is why I'm worried.
Yeah?
A dozen hours after he received this letter and carried on the chain, Admiral Parley Barron came into a great fortune.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you see. Now, and this one, Adjutant General Frederick Melchior was suddenly and miraculously cured of cancer.
Same old junk.
No, listen. But a dozen hours after Hector Kenworthy of Los Angeles broke the chain, that's my friend, Johnny, that Hector.
Yes, I know.
And after A.J. Perriman of Chicago broke the chain, they were both dead. Yeah, you see that? Right here.
Let me see. And if you break the chain, beware. The same thing can happen to you. It will happen to you.
Yeah, I know. You see, Johnny?
Well, I think maybe you're right. This is the same kind of scare stuff, but it goes a little bit too far.
Well, it isn't the $100 I'm supposed to send.
$100?
Yes, $100 in cash to the name at the top of the list.
Exclusive list of honest, wealthy, retired people.
Exactly. And do you know who else has received one? Here in Lakewood?
Who?
Mrs. Templeman, the rich widow who lives over at Piney Woods, and Wilfred W. Winterbottom, the retired oil millionaire.
This name at the top, the one who gets the $100, Mr. Daniel Stringer.
Yes, is the address, care of Post Office Box 101, New York, Zone 84, New York.
I don't know what part of New York that postal zone is, but believe me, I'm going to find out.
You are? What do you mean you're not going to leave me?
I'm not just going to sit here.
But don't you see? The dozen times a dozen hours are over for me.
And you're superstitious, too? Enough to be scared by the threat in this chain letter? Enough to maybe hurt yourself by doing some fool thing or other because you are scared?
Oh, well, no, John, no, why, of course not.
All right, then. I'm going to get you a bodyguard from the local police. Where's your phone?
They're on the stand in the corner. But now, Johnny...
Yeah?
If the police come around, wouldn't that warn anybody who might be coming here to harm me?
Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, Johnny?
There are times when I think you're... Well, I think a lot of things about you.
Oh, sure, I know, yes. Wild and crazy, eccentric old man.
To be very blunt about it, yes.
You am. Maybe I am. A little bit.
But when the chips are down, you're no fool.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
I've never really given much thought to this chain letter thing before. Sure, I've tossed some of them into the wastebasket. But maybe I should have investigated them, even the little ones. Because they all work on the same principle. They all contain a threat, and they all capitalize on fear. Look at that. It says... Exclusive list of honest, wealthy, retired people.
Yes.
Why, a list like that can be bought from 100 sources, from companies that cater to the mail-order business.
Yes, of course.
Oh, maybe I'm all wrong, but suppose somebody bought a list of wealthy people all over the country. Suppose he went to Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, where Kenworthy lives.
All right, yeah. Suppose he rented a post office box. Then he sent out a couple of hundred of these letters, maybe 1,000. A lot of rich people live out there. The letters were all the same, with his name at the top of the list. Then half a dozen fictitious ones.
Fictitious?
Yeah. Any names on that list that you recognize?
Let me see here. No.
All right. So maybe only 100 people were scared into sending the money, carrying on the chain. After all, like you said, it isn't $100.
You're right, Johnny. And 100 people at $100 apiece.
$10,000. Even half of that would make it worth sending out those letters. And by the time the 6 days are up, he's collected enough, so he skips town.
And people like Kenworthy and Perriman, you think he killed them to carry out the warning?
Well, frankly, I doubt it. Just the same, I think I'll call the Lakewood police and have somebody sent out here to look after you.
Even though?
Even though.
What is it, Johnny?
Maybe I was wrong, Mr. Cartwright. Your phone wire's been cut.
Johnny, the phone. The telephone isn't working.
Ask me, Mr. Cartwright. Somebody's cut the wires.
Then the threat in that letter. It means that somebody's come here to carry it out.
Only one way to make sure. You stay inside here while I go out and take a look around.
Maybe that's what they want you to do, go out there in the dark. Huh? Johnny, I'm going with you.
No, you're staying right here. I'll be back in a minute.
But there may be some danger.
Or it may be that your phone is just out of order. We'll see. There was enough moonlight for me to see where the line off the telephone pole led to a connector box at the back end of the house. There wasn't enough light for me to notice a trailing vine as I edged my way along. So what happened? I tripped and fell flat on my face. Before I could get back up on my feet.
So you come out to see what was wrong?
Oh!
You were Mr. Cartwright.
Oh!
For not reading your mail real good.
When I finally came to, I found myself on a big leather sofa in one corner of Mr. Cartwright's library. My head felt like it had been the target for a bolt of lightning, and the lightning hadn't missed. A familiar face slowly came into focus.
That's right, Johnny. Another little sip of this brandy, and you feel much better.
Mr. Cartwright.
Here you are.
Thanks. Thanks.
I was afraid there might be somebody out there, so I sneaked on out after you.
Yeah?
Yes. And I took along an old cricket bat.
Oh, no.
Yes. And when I saw what he was doing to you, I let him have it. Oh, yes, it was all I had. Oh, I slayed him.
Well, who is he? Where is he?
I had an awful time dragging him into the house, but I did it, Johnny. Yes, indeed, I did it. And I locked him up in the broom closet, too. And I locked him up tight.
Good. I told you you're okay when the chips are down.
Oh, it's just that I caught him off guard.
Oh, sure. But now if I can get up on my feet.
Yes, the boy.
Yeah, I think I'd like to talk to him. Our visitor turned out to be a pug-ugly gorilla, hardly the brains behind a chain-letter racket. Except for admitting he'd been hired by somebody in New York to come up here and give Mr. Cartwright a beating, then make it look like a burglary job, he refused to talk. So we locked him up again, and I laid my splitting head on a pillow for some much-needed rest. By the time I awoke in the morning, feeling somewhat better, Mr. Cartwright had fixed me a mess of bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Sure, Johnny. I just walked down to the corner gas station and called the telephone company. And you know something? They came out here and had that line all connected up again in less than an hour.
Good.
Yes, it's just like that. So maybe I'll buy a couple thousand more shares of stock in the telephone company, huh? Just to show them how I appreciate it.
Yeah. What about our little pal? I mean, the one who slugged me last night.
You know, Sir Johnny, I decided that after the way he behaved last night, he doesn't deserve any breakfast.
No, I mean, where is he?
He's still locked up in the broom closet. Do you think I ought to call the police to come and get him?
No, not yet. Maybe I can beat some information out of him if we need it.
Well, of course we need it. Don't we?
Now, let's wait and see. First, I'd like to make a phone call. The call was to my old friend, Lieutenant Randy Singer, New York Police Department, 18th Precinct.
Post Office Box 101. Huh?
Yes.
Postal Zone 84.
And if he comes around to pick up his mail, you nab him.
On what charges, Johnny?
Fraud, sending threatening letters through the mail, anything you can think of.
Yeah, okay, I'll dig up something. But I can't hold him for long unless you come down here and prefer something definite against him. And, Johnny.
Yeah?
You still haven't told me what this is all about. And if I didn't know you...
Just you grab hold of that box holder if he shows, and I hope he does.
Yeah, well, just you be sure and get on down here.
Mr. Cartwright and I piled into my car. We drove over to call on first the wealthy widow Templeman, then the retired millionaire, Mr. Winterbottom.
Why, yes, Mr. Dollar, I was just about to mail in $100 to the name at the top of the list.
Don't.
Then later I'd mail out the other letters to some of my friends.
Don't do it.
But if I don't, something terrible might happen to me. The chain letter said so.
If you do, it'll be a violation of federal law.
What?
That's right. And you could end up in prison for it.
Prison?
Well, Mrs. Templeman?
Prison, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Better do as he says, Mr. Winterbottom.
But I didn't realize. I didn't know
You do now, sir. Then back to Mr. Cartwright's home on the hill, just in time to answer the telephone. Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, I've got him. And what a find.
Yeah, Randy?
Daniel Stringer, alias Danny McKay, alias Willie Daniels, and half a dozen other things. I watched him unload the post office box myself, Johnny. Then I tailed him to a cheap rooming house.
Go on.
When I nabbed him, he was opening, must have been 50, 60 letters he'd got. Chain letters. And, Johnny?
Yeah?
You know what he was taking out of them?
I can guess, Randy.
Thousands. Enough money to hold him on suspicion of almost anything. And, Johnny...
Still here.
He also had a bunch of new letters he'd written, all addressed to folks in a wealthy section down near Germantown, PA.
Then hang on to him, Randy. I'll be down to make formal charges against him.
Okay.
Maybe I'll pick up a chief inspector from the post office department to do it.
Okay, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe some of those chain letters, the little ones, are harmless. But again, maybe they're not. And they're all against the law. But there's only one thing to do. Avoid them like the plague. Or better still, if you get one, take it right down to your local postmaster. He'll know how to go about helping to stamp out this racket. And believe me, that's all it is, a racket. Expense account total, including mileage on my car and the trip to New York and back, $27.35. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, mystery, suspense, and, murder. Take me to Columbus, Ohio. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Howard McNear, Paul Dubov, Frank Ursel, and Herb Bygram. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
This is Jim Matthews speaking.
Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Hello, this is Bruce Yule, the Lockhart estate.
Yes, Mr. Yule. Thanks for calling back. I want to let you know I was in town. I'd like to get together with you if you have time to see me.
Why, yes, I just got out of court, and I have a meeting in a few minutes. It shouldn't take long. Could you meet me at 5:30 for a drink?
Sure, any place you say.
All right, there's a place called Todd's right around the corner from my offices on Spring.
I can find it. This is quite a mix-up, Mr. Yule. The Lockhart's being killed like that?
Yes, it is.
Are you any closer to learning which one died first?
We are not. It was a matter of only a minute or so.
Yeah, it's only a $200,000 question who lived those couple of minutes.
The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you Edmund O'Brien in a transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
For refreshment while you work, or enjoyment anytime, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. The delicious, long-lasting, real mint flavor of Wrigley's Spearmint cools your mouth and freshens your taste. The good, smooth chewing helps keep you feeling fresh and alert. Adds enjoyment to whatever you're doing. So indoors, outdoors, at work or play, enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Wrigley's Spearmint. Refreshing, delicious.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Washingtonian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Horace Lockhart matter. Expense account item 1, $8.90, fare and incidentals between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles. Your Los Angeles agent found that I was on a case in Montecito and saved you some $200 in fare from the East Coast to Los Angeles by bringing me down from Santa Barbara. At 5:30 that same afternoon, I met Mr. Bruce Yule, attorney for the Lockhart estate.
You lead off, Mr. Dollar. I'll answer any question I can.
So far, I know the bare facts. I tried to get some information from the police, but everybody told me to call some other office.
You must have called the local authorities?
Yeah, shouldn't I have?
Mr. and Mrs. Lockhart were killed in county territory, so it's under the jurisdiction of the sheriff.
I was way off then. I was almost up to the highway commissioner when I quit.
Well, we have a fairly complicated system here. The Lockharts were killed on the Coast Highway, north of Malibu. They were returning from a visit to Santa Barbara when their car was either forced off the road or went out of control. Crashed through a guard fence and over a bank.
What time of night was it?
It was about 2 a.m. Now, the actual report was phoned in by the operator of an all-night garage on the highway. But the man was notified by a young woman. She said she had seen the accident happen, had stopped, and gone down to look at the car. But that's where our information stopped.
Yeah. Am I right that she did tell somebody that one of the Lockharts was still alive then, but that she didn't say which one?
That's correct. That's what she told the garage operator. His name is Gallagher.
And the whole thing hangs on this girl. What's been done to locate her?
Well, we put ads in the classified sections of all the papers. It happened only night before last. I'm certain she'll call in before long.
I hope so. How often do you look at the classified section, Mr. Yule?
Well, certainly we can hope that she has friends she's talked to about the accident. And even if she doesn't see it, why, somebody will and tell her about it.
The man in the garage. You said his name is Gallagher?
Yes, Patrick.
Thanks very much, Mr. Yule. I think I'll rent a car and go out and see him.
Good evening.
Hi. You Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, that's right.
My name is Dollar. I'm an investigator for an insurance company. I'd like to talk to you about that accident the other night.
That Lincoln with the man and his wife?
Yeah, the Lockhart.
Oh, that was a mess. We should get him on this highway. Crazy fool drivers. He was quite a big shot, I read.
He was. What I want to find out about is the girl who reported the accident to you.
I don't know anything about her. She busted in here all excited and told me about it, and then she left. Never saw her before, and I haven't seen her since.
What exactly did she say? You remember?
What do you mean?
I'd like to learn her exact words if you remember them.
What's so important about her?
We're looking for her. I'll explain it to you.
but do you remember what she said?
Not her exact words, maybe. She told me about the accident. She said there were 2 people in the car, and she said one of them was dead, but she thought one was still alive.
Can you be sure that she didn't say, I think the man is still alive, or I think the woman is still alive?
No, I don't think she said that.
Did she say there were 2 people in the car, or a man and a woman?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't think anything about that. All I was thinking was calling the police. As a matter of fact, I was asleep. She woke me up, shaking me, and talking about it.
It took you a couple of seconds to come to your senses then, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. She left, and I called the police.
But it's just possible that she might have mentioned the man or the woman still being alive.
Well, yeah, maybe, before I was awake. Well, I don't get it. What difference does it make?
It makes a $200,000 difference to one of 2 people, Mr. Gallagher.
What are you giving me?
You carry life insurance, don't you?
Yeah, all I can afford.
Well, the Lockharts each had a policy naming each other as first beneficiary, but each of them named a different second beneficiary.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see.
Mrs. Lockhart had named a son by a former marriage. So if she survived her husband in that crash, even for a minute or so, she became his beneficiary for that length of time. If that was the case, her son is in line for the money from both policies. If she died first, it's the other way around, and her daughter by Lockhart is in line.
Oh, I didn't think they cut it that fine.
You can see how important it is for you to remember exactly what this girl said.
Well, knowing isn't going to make it any easier, to be sure. I'm not sure, that's all.
What did this girl look like?
Well, I give you a little more help there. She had blue eyes, and it seemed to me she was wearing an awful lot of makeup. It was really plastered on. You couldn't really see her skin.
Like stage makeup? What about eyelashes? Were they false?
Yeah, they were. Now that you mention it, they were too long to be real.
What else?
She had a scarf over her hair, but I'm pretty sure it was blonde. And that's about all. She was wearing a coat. Oh, and I noticed when she left, she was bare-legged and wearing white shoes with high heels. Her legs were tan, so maybe she lives on the beach around here someplace.
Could that have been makeup on her legs, too?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
What about her car? What kind was it? What color?
I didn't see it.
Didn't see it?
No, she parked there by the side of the building where you did. When I was on the phone, she pulled out and headed toward L.A. It sounded like about a Chevy or a Plymouth, something about that size.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mr. Gallagher. If you think of anything more, I wish you'd call me. I'm at the Holmby Hotel on Wilshire. I'll leave my card. I drove up to the scene of the crash about 2 miles farther north. The Lockharts couldn't have picked a better spot. There was an almost sheer drop of more than 20 feet to some big rocks just above the beach. The rocks still showed the marks of the impact. At the sheriff's station on the way back into Los Angeles, I saw their photographs and heard their theory. The car hadn't been forced off the road. The tire marks it left made it appear that either the driver had fallen asleep or that the crash had not been accidental. The next morning, I was summoned by Bruce Ewell to the Lockhart address. I found it at the end of one of the elite roads in L.A.'s prize subdivision, Bel Air. It was guarded by an iron gate, and the mansion itself was evidently a replica of something Italian. I was told to wait for Mr. Ewell in a domed entry hall.
Well, thanks for coming out, Mr. Dollar.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Yes, it's quite a place, isn't it? I wanted the children to meet you. Do you know about them?
Only that they're half-sister and brother.
Yes. Michael Adams stayed with his own father. Never has lived here. He arrived from Seattle last night. And this is the first time he's met his stepsister.
That's Gail Lockhart.
Yes. She's 23 and he's 27. Well, I wanted them to know we're doing everything we can to find this perverse witness who's become so important. Why doesn't she reveal herself?
I wish I knew.
Well, this is Mr. Dollar, the insurance investigator who's come out to help us. Miss Gail Lockhart.
How do you do?
Miss Lockhart.
And Mr. Michael Adams.
Oh, hey, Mr. Dollar.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Adams. You both have my sympathy.
Oh, I think Miss Lockhart deserves it more than I do. I'm no more than a stranger. I don't even remember my mother. She and my father divorced before I was 2.
Oh, stop it.
Sorry.
Mr. Ewell, I don't have to stay, do I? May I go to my room?
Why, yes, Gail, if you want to.
I do. I can't talk about it anymore.
I'm sorry, but I feel like I should explain my place in this. I know I don't belong.
It's all right, Mr. Adams. Gail is terribly upset. She was in Santa Barbara with her parents that night. She was supposed to drive back with them. They'd been drinking heavily, and she begged them to stay over. And when her father refused to do that, she refused to ride with them.
I didn't know she was with them.
Well, you know how these situations are. She's full of self-incrimination. Can't help feeling she should have done more, like take the keys to the car, or even call the police, or something. Well, what are we going to do about this witness, Mr. Dollar?
Maybe you can help us, Mr. Adams. Do you ever read the personal column in the classified advertising section of your paper?
Personal column? Hardly ever.
Have you any idea when the last time was?
Oh, months back, anyway.
I think we have to do better than that personal column, Mr. Ewell. Spot a few small ads through the other pages. Have you contacted any but local papers?
No, not yet.
Just because that garage man told us her car headed for L.A. is no proof that she's here. She might have passed right on through.
Yes, but a girl driving alone at that time of night...
We have no reason to think that she was alone. Gallagher didn't see anybody else, but he didn't see the car either. There are people who just don't like to get involved in things like this, you know.
Yes, that's true, isn't it? What would you say to posting a small reward?
I think that would be a good idea. Not a reward for the information we want, because we'd get too many cranks who would say anything for money.
Say, that's right, isn't it?
I think we should offer the reward for any information that will lead us to the witness, and print the description Gallagher gave us.
That's a good idea.
Sure is.
Well, I'll go call my secretary and have her compose an ad, and get it into as many evening editions in the counties as possible. And San Bernardino and Riverside counties as well. Excuse me.
Golly. This suspense is really something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I know I don't deserve any of the money. Why, you could have knocked me over with a feather when I found out she had me in the policy. Oh, I suppose she always felt bad about the way she deserted my father and me and wanted to make it up, huh?
That was probably it.
But, man, $200,000. If I get that, I'll be sitting on top of the world.
I wouldn't spend it yet if I were you.
Oh, I know it's a toss-up, but sure would be justice, wouldn't it? With all she'll get anyway, Miss Lockhart doesn't need it like I do. Why, from the looks of this place, she probably wouldn't even miss it.
Maybe you're right, Mr. Adams. She probably won't miss anything but appearance for quite a while.
Sorry. Can't seem to say the right thing around here.
The practical Mr. Adams had to wait along with the rest of us. The second day, the reward was increased. It was increased the third and the fourth day until it stood at $1,000. There it stayed for fear somebody was sitting on the information and watching the price of it go up. A few newspaper and radio reporters played it up on the mystery woman angle, but the actual $200,000 question we wanted to ask her was never let out. We had some worthless reaction, but on the seventh day, we got what we figured was our first break. An apartment house manager phoned Bruce Ewell, and I went out to talk to her.
Well, it's not me alone, Mr. Dollar. A few of my tenants have mentioned it, too. We're all curious about this mystery woman, you know. Well, this is Tuesday, and that awful accident happened a week ago Sunday, didn't it?
That's right, Mrs. Brewer.
To be exact, about 2 Monday morning. Well, at 10 o'clock that morning, one of the girls who'd been living here left with almost a whole month's rent to live out, Susan Lee.
Oh? Would you say she fit the description in the papers?
Now, that's why I decided to call. We'd share the reward, but I'd do the talking. Because... especially the theatrical makeup that was mentioned. Susan was a dancer in the naughty 90s nightclub on Santa Monica Boulevard. A specialty dancer, as she put it.
Did she own a car?
That was another thing. The ad mentioned a Chevy or a Plymouth, and she had a Plymouth.
This is very interesting, Mrs. Brugger. Did she say where she was going?
Well, she said she'd found a better job in another town, but when I asked her where, she changed the subject. She was hiding something.
Made no arrangements for mail?
Well, I asked her about that, too, and she said she'd come back and pick it up as soon as she could. I think she was in trouble.
Has any mail come?
Well, nothing much. A couple of bills. This one today. From a photographer.
A photographer? That might really help.
Why, yes, he must have taken a picture.
Let's see the return address.
Oh, wait till I tell the girls. Oh, I hope it's her. Why, I never even knew anybody who ever won a reward before.
It was her. As a matter of fact, things developed quite nicely for the next hour and a half, anyway. At the garage, Gallagher positively identified the girl in the print I took him from the photographer. So at that point, that's what we had, a picture and the name of our witness. The rest of it wasn't so good. It looked like she'd taken a sudden run out for reasons and places unknown. With a 7-day start, she could have reached almost any place in the world.
For refreshment while you work, for enjoyment anytime, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. When your mouth feels dry, when you're warm or tired, Wrigley's Spearmint is really refreshing. The lively, full-bodied, real mint flavor cools your mouth, moistens your throat, freshens your taste. And the chewing itself gives you a little lift, helps you feel your best and do your best. So for chewing enjoyment plus pleasant refreshment, chew delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. And now with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Of a kind, but it doesn't help us very much, does it?
No, not yet, Mr. Yule, but it's more than we've had. One thing I'd like to suggest.
Yes?
I think we should leave the reward ads running just as they are.
Oh, you don't think we should get right to the point and add her name and photo to the information?
No, not right now. If she's running away from something, we might drive her farther if we did that. I think we should go on as if we haven't learned anything.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
In the meantime, I'll see what I can dig up. The Santa Monica Boulevard Club where Susan Lee had worked was open, but almost empty at 3 that afternoon when I went in. Just the bar was in operation, but a series of larger-than-life-size posters on the wall promised entertainment nightly by outstanding personalities of the dance. I found the manager in his office.
What was the name again?
Dollar, the bartender, told me where I might find you, Mr. Cobley. I'd like to talk to you about a girl named Susan Lee.
Well, what about her? Come on in, come on. I can spare a few minutes.
Thanks.
You a cop of some kind?
Private one. Why? You expecting something?
No, not especially. Except the way Susan dropped out of sight all of a sudden and the way you come in asking about her. What's up, anyway?
I was hoping you could tell me. I'm working for an insurance company. All I want with this Lee girl is a statement about an automobile accident she witnessed.
Oh, hey. Is this what's been running in all the papers?
Yeah. We've been trying to find her for a week.
And it's Susan?
That's right.
What a dope that makes me. And a lot of other people around here. Are you sure?
A guy identified her picture.
Why didn't I think of that? You know why? Because the papers gave the idea that this dame was coming to Los Angeles from some town up the coast.
That's all we know, that she was driving south.
How could Susan be driving any place up there at 2 in the morning? Our last show here was at 1:15.
I'm more interested in knowing where she is now. I take it you don't know.
No. Her contract had another week to run, but she called me one morning a week or so ago and said she was sick and could she quit.
Was that a Monday morning?
Well, I can find... Yeah, sure it was. She called me at home. We're closed on Mondays. Hey, I think I got something for you.
What?
Well, one of the other girls picked up a pay for her. She wanted to quit, she told me, and I don't make any trouble with the girls who want to leave. And then she wanted Lamine to pick up her check. Well, I said that'd be okay if she sent a note authorizing it, and she did.
This, what did you say, Lamine?
Yeah, that's her stage name. You know, these girls get those monikers legalized when they're too young to know any better, and then they're stuck with them. Lamine Dunn. You can tell before you see her that she's brunette and specializes in tassels.
Would you mind giving me her address?
No, I've got it right over here. Susan must have some hot dough to be worth a $1,000 reward.
I wish I could tell you, but I can't. It's worth plenty.
No, I wasn't pushing for information. Yeah, here it is. The Wesley on Wilcox.
Good. Thanks very much.
Oh, sure. I don't care what you don't tell me. But anybody could use a hunk of that reward these days.
I'll remember what you've done, Mr. Cobley. We'll see what we can work out. Thanks again.
Sure.
Are you Miss Dunn?
Yeah?
I suppose you've read the papers like everyone else. I'm the insurance investigator who's looking for that girl. She turns out to be Susan Lee.
Oh, well, come on in. What have I been sitting on, anyway?
You know what we want her for.
Because she saw that wreck. But don't you know what could have happened that made her leave town like she did?
No, don't you?
Well, I know there was... Look, I'm going to sound like a pretty lousy sort of friend, I suppose, but I only met her when she booked into the club. We happened to get along, that's all. I don't think that's the kind of friendship where you find that greater love hath no man stuff. Besides, she didn't trust me enough to tell me everything.
Everything about what?
Why don't you sit down?
Thanks.
I promised her I wouldn't say anything, and I haven't. But now you want to know, and I'm not going to lie about something I don't know.
That makes sense to me.
Something happened to her that night, and I think it was over that guy she married.
You'll have to remember that I don't know anything about her.
Oh, yeah, well, she married this guy. I never met him. His name's Robert, she told me. They ran off a couple of months ago, got one of those quick Mexican jobs.
You don't know where this Roberts came from or lives.
All I know is it must have been a dandy marriage. She still lived in her apartment, and maybe once or twice a week she'd leave after the last show and run up the coast and meet him. She said he traveled a lot. And I believed it, but not the way she meant it.
She sounds a little naive for her profession.
No, she isn't. Wasn't. I guess everybody really takes a fall sooner or later. But she came here that night, or morning, I guess it was 3:30. She still had her stage makeup on. She said something happened. She had to get out of town. That's all she'd say.
She mentioned seeing the accident?
No, just kept on saying something happened. Something awful happened. She had to leave town. Could she have caused that accident?
The police say no other car was involved.
Oh, then it must have been that husband.
You know his full name?
Yeah, it was Phil. I heard her say that.
Philip Roberts. It's probably a common name, but we'll get on it. You talked to her the next day, you know, about her paycheck?
Yeah, she phoned me, and she told Mr. Cobley she was sick because she didn't want him to ask questions about why she was leaving. So I went down and got her check. I met her in a drive-in joint on Santa Monica, and the same thing, and making me promise not to tell anybody.
You have any idea where she might have gone?
Yeah, I have.
Where?
Once a week, every Sunday, Susan used to get flowers. She used to say they were from some masher in San Diego. She'd tear up the card and let the flowers dry up on her dressing table. A bouquet came that Sunday night, and she didn't even unwrap it. It was one of those what's the future nights for me. I was figuring how many years I had left in the racket, wondering what had made me go wrong with the way I spent all the time I'd been in it. Well, I was real gone. When Susan left, I took her flowers and brought them home, and I read the card. It said, as usual, if you ever need me. That's where she's gone.
Do you know, or are you guessing?
Both, I guess. I met one like that when I was Susan's age. That's where I should have gone. Maybe she did. I still got the card with the name of the florist on it.
San Diego is some 120 miles from Los Angeles. But when I opened the phone book and saw how many Philip Roberts there were to be checked, the trip seemed short. I didn't get there in time that night, but the next morning I located the florist. He had no trouble remembering the man who so faithfully sent flowers on Sunday. At noon that day, I found Robert's house, and I recognized the girl who opened the door to me.
Yes?
Susan Lee?
No, she isn't here.
Wait a minute.
No, leave me alone. Go away. Get your foot out. I didn't know. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't know.
Let me in, Miss Lee. You don't have to be afraid. All I want to ask you about is the accident you saw last Sunday night.
No, you're lying.
Let me in.
You're lying. I read about your reward in the papers. You tried to trick me. How did you find me?
I had to find you.
I didn't do it. I didn't have anything to do with it, no matter what she says.
You're saying things you don't have to say, Miss Lee.
No, I'm not, because everything else you've heard is a lie.
What lies have I heard? Who lied to me?
I don't know. Don't you think I've spent all night long, every night, hearing what she said to you? But I believed him. I believed everything he told me.
Philip Roberts?
That's not his name. I know it isn't now, but I married him. You think I would have married him if I'd known that he was already married?
I guess you'd better tell me about it, Miss Lee.
I thought I was married to him. We went to Ensenada. Some man married us down there. It was in May. And I thought he was my husband all the time. I was going to quit dancing and we were going to go away. And then Sunday night, I heard them.
You were north of Malibu Sunday night?
Yes, he rented the cabin for us. But when I got there Sunday night, there was another car. I left my car and walked to the cabin, and then I heard them. She called herself his wife, and she used a different name. She called him Carl. I don't know why I listened. I wanted to run. But I stayed and listened to them argue. And found out that I wasn't married to him at all because she was his wife.
You don't have to tell me this.
Yes, I do. You have to know the truth. I heard her say she'd kill him. And then I left and started to walk toward the highway. And I'd gotten almost to it when I heard the shots. I wasn't near the cabin. I was almost to my car.
Miss Lee.
When I heard them, Oh, I thought I was running away because she'd shot him over me.
Where is this cabin?
It's about 3. You know where it is. You've been there. You found him.
As far as I know, no one has been there. I haven't heard anything about a shooting north of Malibu.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. But we'll have to phone the police to check the story.
You're lying. You're still trying to trick me, but you can't.
Stop it.
You're lying because you believed her. Let go of me. Let go. I didn't do it. I was running away.
It took some time to digest it. I called the police and saw Susan Lee on her way back to Los Angeles with them, and then called Bruce Ewell. By the time I had driven back, he'd spent a half hour with the girl and had gotten the report of the police who visited the cabin. I was called to the Lockhart home for the second and last time, and together with the 2 prospective beneficiaries, I heard what the lawyer had to say.
Oh, it's a pathetic story. This man entered a bigamous marriage contract with Susan Lee. His first wife followed him to the cabin. She didn't know about the marriage, but she suspected something. At the height of the argument, she shot him and then turned the gun upon herself. Miss Lee was afraid to surrender as our witness.
They're both dead?
Well, I'll be...
Yes, but actually that's none of our concern now. This tortured girl did witness the accident, and in spite of her own problems, stopped to give what aid she could, which of course was none.
Did you get a statement from her, Mr. Ewell?
Yes, I'm afraid I did. Before a notary public, Susan Lee swore that the person who was alive at the time she viewed the wreck was Mrs. Lockhart.
I knew it. Hot dog.
Shut up.
Make him stop. Get him out of here. I can't stand it.
Here, now, here. Let me take it to you.
It's really true?
Yeah, I guess it is, if Ewell says so.
Man, $200,000. And for what? For being born to the right mother. That's what I call profit on a small investment.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
$200,000. Why, I bet I can invest that and live like a gentleman the way I've always wanted to. I wonder how much this house costs. Nothing like this in Seattle, but I might show them a thing or two.
Expense account item 2, $356.50 miscellaneous in Los Angeles. Item 3, $218.45 transportation back to Hartford. Expense account total, $583.85. Remarks? As far as I'm concerned, the money went to the wrong beneficiary. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Remember, friends, for refreshment while you work, for enjoyment any time, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. There's lots of lively, real mint flavor in it to cool your mouth, freshen your taste, and sweeten your breath. And chewing Wrigley's Spearmint helps keep you fresh and alert. You feel better, work better, get more fun out of doing things. So indoors, outdoors, at work or play, always keep delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. For refreshment while you work, for enjoyment any time, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Gum, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen starring in the Paramount Pictures production Warpath. Featured in tonight's cast were Howard McNear, Hy Averbeck, Barbara Whiting, David Young, Virginia Gregg, Eddie Marr, and Mary Jane Croft. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum hope you've enjoyed tonight's story of Johnny Dollar and that you're enjoying delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum every day. We invite you to join us again next week at the same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Bob Stevenson speaking. This is the CBS Radio Network.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Dr. Colby calling back, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, Frank. How am I?
Oh, you've fallen behind. You'll need boosters for diphtheria and smallpox, typhoid, cholera. And if we can find room, why, we'll bring you up to date on your tetanus.
Oh. Well, where do I get them?
We'll have it all right here in the office, or I can stop by on the way home.
Well, that's not what I mean, Frank. It takes a long time to get to Haiti, and those plane seats aren't very comfortable at best.
Edmund O'Brien in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, America Federated Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, Harvard Huntington, General Manager. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my assignment in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Expense account item 1, $15 for a pair of tickets to Detective Story at the Hudson Theater, New York, which I never got a chance to use since I was seated in the library of your Hartford home promptly at curtain time.
Dollar, I want to thank you for coming out here. Sorry to break into your evening like this, but since I have, I'll get right to the point. Perhaps you've heard of the Gordon family here in Hartford.
Well, what I see of the society page is what I'm flipping back to the sports section, but I've noticed the name. Diamond-studded, aren't they?
Immensely wealthy. Pillars of society. And surprisingly quite a proper family. That is all but one of the sons, Ralph. A heavy drinker, complete wastrel, ne'er-do-well.
Oh, a blot on the old escutcheon, eh?
Yes, continually getting into one scrape or another. Now he's done it again.
I take it that you're not worried about Ralph the man, but about Ralph the policyholder, huh?
Yeah. Well, to put it bluntly, yes. I don't think it's unethical for a company to protect its interests. In this case, the policy is in the amount of $150,000.
Quite a piece of paper.
Yes. And to be quite candid, I rue the day it was issued. But the point is this. Ralph Gordon, at last report, is dying aboard his yacht at Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Well, then you don't need me. You need the Mayo Clinic.
Dollar, I hesitate to even mention this in the presence of a sane man. But from everything we can learn, young Gordon is not dying from any known malady. He's dying as a result... Oh, it's pure nonsense. He's supposed to be dying as the result of voodoo curse. Now, anybody with any sense...
All right, wait a minute. Where'd you get your information?
From his older brother, Thomas. He's a doctor. He's down there in Haiti with Ralph. Now, I want you to go down and debunk this thing, Dollar. Find out what's wrong. Why, any sane man knows there's no such voodoo. You don't believe in it, do you?
No, not unless I see it working. Expense account item 2, $148.70, Hartford to Port-au-Prince via airplane. Expense account item 3, $32.50, tropical clothes. And item 4, $25 spent while I browsed the waterfront bars in Port-au-Prince, looking for somebody who knew where the Gordon yacht was moored. When I found him, he not only knew that, he knew everything.
It don't matter what you want to know about this blasted island. Ask me first. My name is Cap Regan, and I've been here since before repeal. Give up my citizenship, I did, with the help of a couple of prohibition agents. And I figure on sailing out my final days right here. What do you want with the Gordon craft?
I want to see the owner, Ralph Gordon. How do I get to it?
I reckon you pay me to row you out to her. My dinghy's down to the foot of the pier, just a short hail from where we're at.
Well, good. Come on, let's shove off.
Just wait till I down my ration here. That'll put me in shipshape. What'd you say you wanted with that schooner? You figuring on buying her?
Oh, thank you for the compliment. If I bought a boat today, it'd have to be a surplus life raft. I told you I want to talk to Gordon.
A friendly visit or the other kind?
Uh-huh. I'm beginning to see how you know so much about this island.
Well, never question, never learn. Remember that, Summy. This way, we veer off to starboard. Yes, sir. Never question, never learn.
Look, I'm an insurance investigator. A company sent me down here to look things over, including Gordon.
Something wrong?
I don't know yet. What do you know about it?
A jugful, Sonny, a jugful. Stood into the harbor about 2 months back. No sooner dropped his hook than his crew started taking the pierhead leap. Everybody jumped for the bosun, for reasons of his own.
What was the matter with Gordon?
He was off seas over all the time. And you navigate with sextant, a compass, and parallel ruler, Sonny, not with a double shot and a water chaser. Get the drift?
They were afraid to sail with him?
Oh, that's the line of it. If you'd ever pile into a reef, you feel the same. Oh, yeah, here we are. Now, there's my dinghy down at the bottom of the ladder. And there's Gordon's yacht out there, you see her? The tug is passing astern of her now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of boat.
Yep, she carries a suit of sail like a grain clipper. Oh, why don't you see her close up? She's dirty as a garbage scow. All right, give her a hail now, Sonny. We're close enough.
Hey! Anybody aboard? Hey, aboard the yacht. Anyone home?
Yes? What do you want?
If the ship was dirty, I didn't notice. It may have had good lines, too, but it couldn't have touched what stood still at the rail, wearing clam diggers, an off-the-shoulder T-shirt, and a Caribbean tan.
There's a trim for you. That'll be his wife.
Can I come aboard?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm Johnny Dollar from Hartford. I want to talk to Ralph.
Oh. Why, yes, then. I guess you'll have to come aboard.
Yeah. I'll swing the stern into the ladder. There you be. Steady now.
Okay, Cap. You wait for me, huh?
Well, how are things in Ralphie's old hometown?
Cool, but not as cool as this reception.
Don't let it throw you. What is this, a friendly drop-in business or just plain snooping? It's the last I met Weena, the wife they haven't heard about at home.
Congratulations. Now I know why you like the way your shoulders bear. The better to keep a chip on them.
If you're through being sharp, I'll let you hear what's left of my husband. Come on, through here. Hey, Ralph. You got a visitor from Hartford.
Get away from this cabin, you gold-digging little chiseler. You take your visitor with you.
Well, there you are, chum. He's got the door locked. It'll stay that way till he runs out of wine. You heard enough?
Yes, enough to know how you acquired your charming attitude.
Forget it. I walked into it with my eyes wide open. Let's get back out on deck. The light's better for throwing barbs at each other.
Sure. Sounds like fun.
Well, do I have to help you off the boat?
Not until you help me by answering some questions. I'm an insurance investigator. I was sent down here by the company that holds a policy on your husband's life.
What should I do? Faint?
The story they got was that Ralph was dying from some kind of a voodoo curse. They don't believe it, neither do I.
Why not? It might be true. Oh, some old guy, they call him Papa Luau, came out to the boat. He yelled some things at Ralph, and when Ralphie threw a bottle at him, he swore he'd put a curse on him. Hey, how did they hear about it back in Hartford?
Ralph's brother, Dr. Thomas Gordon, told them. You know him?
Yeah, we hate each other. I wonder why he'd tell them.
Well, maybe because he thought somebody who'd be better off with Ralph dead was using Papa Luau's curse as a cover-up. How would you stand as his widow?
Get off this boat. Get off.
What's the trouble, Eddie?
Oh, Em. Yeah, come here, will you?
Who's the boarding party?
Just get him off, Em.
Sure, honey. Well, mate, do you walk in or dive?
Save your strength for the last scene, Goliath. I was just leaving. Expense account item 5, $3 paid to Cap Reagan as water taxi fare. Item 6, 80 cents, land taxi fare to Hotel Francois. And up at the Hills hangout for not only the best in tourists, but also Brother Thomas Gordon, M.D.
Please make yourself comfortable. Could I offer you something?
Nothing but some brotherly advice.
Certainly. I feel like a stupid fool for not being able to handle this thing myself. So now that you're here, call on me for anything. First, have you seen Ralph?
I tried to, but he locked himself in his cabin. Tell me, as a medical man, how do you digest this voodoo curse story?
Why, it's ridiculous. Good heavens, this is the 20th century. I do think that science doesn't know everything it would like to know. Voodoo, black magic. There are stories, supposedly true, but any victim would have to have a highly susceptible mind. And I know my brother, Mr. Dollar. His mind is susceptible only to his own whims and fancies.
Then what's the matter with him?
That's it, I don't know. He's drawn within himself and seems to be searching almost insanely for escape through alcohol.
Hasn't anybody thought of putting him on the wagon? It's a horrible idea, but it works.
I don't think this is the time for it. He's suffering mentally and needs release.
Well, that leaves us only one thing to think about, and no matter how thin you cut it, it's still voodoo.
I'm a man of science, Mr. Dollar. I'd make hypocrisy out of all my knowledge and training if I attacked the problem from that direction. But, please let me know what you find.
Expense account item 7, $4, rental of horse and cart, in which my walking tourist guide, Cap Riggin, and I jolted out of town in search of Papa Loire. Something made me feel like I was riding my last mile in a tumbril en route to the guillotine. The moonlight was fighting a losing battle against an army of storm clouds that was sweeping in. And then to make it worse, I heard a drum.
Hear that, Sonny?
Yeah, sort of a tired Gene Krupa.
Means we're getting close to Papa's quarters.
Is he the only one around here?
Yep, none of the good Ogans performs in his territory. He's too mean.
Oh, great.
And that ain't no galley news, it's the truth. I tell you, there's lots of black magic, so-called. It's nothing but tourist bait. But Papa, he's a genuine article. Let me tell you about one fella he loaded a curse onto. He was a native, and before he got through with him...
Cap, please. You keep your mind on your driving, and I'll keep mine on pleasant memories.
Well, I ain't got no more driving to think about.
What's the matter?
That's the path over there by that gnarled old tree. From here on, you plot your own course. This is close enough for me.
Me too. Say, wait a minute. Say, how do I know I can't put a curse on him, huh? I never tried.
Smooth sailing, Sonny.
The path led along the edge of a field of sugarcane, and on the other side of me was a solid wall of jungle. First, I smelled some feathers burning. Then I heard the chant. There was a door in the wall of jungle that led to a small clearing, and before the moon was smothered by another cloud, I saw a shack. Smoke curled out through an open door, and I could see the glow of a fire on the floor inside. Hey, Papa! I want to talk to you.
Who is come to the house of Papua?
Well, my name wouldn't mean anything to you, but what I have to say will. Can I come in?
Entree. What are these words of so great importance as you wish to interrupt, Papua?
All I know about voodoo is that I don't believe it.
Legba.
I've come to you because I haven't got any answers from anybody else. I want to know what's behind this so-called curse you put on Ralph Gordon.
You not believe. You like me make you believe. Ralph Gordon, he died. Tonight, in the wind and rain. And for you, I have magic now. See my fire? You will believe the smoke. Now, believe.
I couldn't see what he'd thrown onto the fire. He'd reached behind him for it. But when the smoke from it whirled around me, it seemed to grab my throat and squeeze. I stumbled back through the door. I hadn't believed in voodoo when I'd come in. But going out, I wasn't so sure.
We will return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. CBS invites you to hear one of the greatest ad-libbers in show business, Groucho Marx, this Wednesday night on most of these same CBS stations. Groucho's show, You Bet Your Life, finds the master throwing quips and questions at oddly assorted pairs of contestants. And it's one of the funniest, fastest, merriest shows on the air. Be listening when Groucho Marx comes along this Wednesday on CBS. And now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
My throat burned. I staggered around in the heavy jungle air, and when I could breathe again, I gulped in enough to lift the Graf Zeppelin. When I got back into the shack, he was gone. He hadn't left much of what he'd smoked me out with, but he'd left enough. A few shreds of photographic film on the dirt floor. And film made of cellulose and nitrates not only takes pictures, it puts out nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide when it's burned. A combination that would live up to the demands of any gas chamber. We headed back to the yacht, and this time I boarded without a hail.
I'm telling you, Em, we can't go on with this.
Well, this tops it. You having a change of heart.
Well, that's what happened.
I'm not so sure that makes any difference. Maybe you're in too deep to back out. How would you like it if I spilled the whole thing?
Oh, what difference does it make? It'd be better than landing in a Haitian prison with your motives showing.
Think it over, Angel. I'll be in my sack when you make up your mind.
Em, how wrong you can be.
See you later, huh?
What are you doing on this ship? Get off.
Oh, no. Not after that intriguing conversation I just heard.
How much did you hear?
If I added it to the gas assault Papa Luau threw at me, it'd be enough to nail you and Loverboy here for conspiracy to commit murder.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The point is, I know what you two were talking about.
Listen to me. You've got to believe me.
I don't have to, but try me anyway.
I admit that Em and I... Well, I did get involved with him. It was because Ralph turned into another man after we were married.
This probably marks the first time in history that an icicle melted in Port-au-Prince.
Please, let me finish. When my marriage went to pieces, I had to do something or go crazy. To see Ralph drinking up all the champagne on the island was just more than I could take. I was going to divorce him and leave with Em, but we weren't going to murder him.
You know, Chapter 1 has so many holes in it, it could have been printed by a punch press. You don't worry about landing in prison with your motive showing when all you're planning is divorce.
You do when people are waiting for your husband to die under mysterious circumstances. That's why I was trying to make Em go away. If Ralph died, who would look any farther than the erring wife? Unless Em was hiding something.
Can you lock this cabin from the outside?
Yes. What are you going to do? You aren't going to lock me in here.
No, just your playmate. You're coming with me.
Where?
To Papa Luau's. I want to hear what kind of a story you tell in front of him.
You don't believe me.
No. With $150,000 at stake, I don't even believe myself. There's a shack. You go in first. May not be heroic, but it's the best way I can think of to catch his reaction when he sees it. Come on, go ahead. Go on in.
Who is it come to Paplua's door? Who are you, woman?
Well, Mr. Dollar, are you satisfied?
Not quite.
And you did not believe. Why you are here? You wish again to see the power of my smoke?
Let's just drop the act, Papa. I know what you threw in the fire.
Was my bokor smoke? You not yet believe?
A good man from a police laboratory can sift enough out of those ashes to know it was film.
What is this you say?
I say that I've got enough on you, you old fake, to put you in the local pokey.
Who dare speak Dutch to Papua?
And that's where you're going to go if you don't cooperate. Now, that's a promise.
What is it you want?
Did somebody put you up to this cursed business that Ralph Gordon is supposed to be under?
A man of your race. Now go. That is all.
It's not enough. What was his name?
I not know the name.
What did he look like then?
My eyes were closed.
Nuts. Come on. I'm taking you into town if I have to drag you by the hair.
No, don't touch me. I will tell you how this is. It is true, I do not know the name or the face. He come to me. He asked me when comes next rain and wind. I tell him last night. But it's tonight. The storm come with the seat. He tell me he needs storm to close portholes in the ship. He say, if I bring this curse, I will be best organ on 80 because it kill what man? That is difficult. That is all. Now you go.
How about the film for the fire? Did he give it to you?
That is true, not long before you come.
Well, get rid of it, Papa, before you lose your license to operate.
You go now. Papa Luau will be alone. Go now.
All right, Mrs. Gordon, all right. Let's not stay for the music.
Could you make head or tail of what he said?
What goes into your husband's cabin?
Nothing but food and wine. Mostly wine.
Who fixes his meals?
I do. Our cook left us.
Yeah? Where does the wine come from? You said it was champagne, didn't you?
Yes. It always comes from the same place, a liquor shop in town, a case at a time. Nothing makes any sense. What are you going to do?
All I can do. Try every angle. But that's not all I'm going to try in that liquor shop. Expense account item 8, $4.50, 2 quarts of rum, the purchase of which helped loosen the tongue of the proprietor who had been supplying Ralph Gordon's champagne. And the words that poured out weren't exactly intoxicating, but they sent me staggering to the nearest phone.
Yes, hello.
Dr. Gordon, this is Dollar.
Good heavens, Dollar. I've been wondering about you. What have you learned?
Well, first tell me this. What would happen to a man if he was in a ship's cabin on a stormy night with all the portholes closed and there was a lot of dry ice in there with him?
What? What was that?
A small room, no ventilation, a lot of dry ice. A lush, maybe passed out. What would happen?
Good Lord. Dry ice is solidified carbon dioxide. If enough of it evaporated into the room...
The lush would not be bothered by a hangover the next morning because he wouldn't wake up, right?
Exactly. The gas, although not toxic, would force the oxygen from the atmosphere, and the result would be asphyxia. What are you getting at, Dollar?
Well, that curse your brother is suffering from is very scientific. The champagne he's been getting has been chilled by dry ice, about 5 pounds per case. One went out just before the storm broke.
Good Lord. It may be just coincidence, but Ralph's wife and that bosun...
Yeah, I know. For a bosun, he'd make a very good chemist. They sent for a pull motor. If it's too late for your brother, maybe I can use it. Hey, Cap, come on, will you?
Ahoy, sonny. Set up around, George, for my shipmate and me. This is rum weather, sonny.
Never mind around, Cap. You gotta row me out of that yacht again.
What? In this weather? I wouldn't ask old Neptune himself to set out on a night like this.
Come on, Cap. I'm in a hurry. Here's $20.
I want time off the horn. Oh, what did you say?
I didn't think it could rain any harder than it had been, but it did. Visibility was 0. But about 20 minutes out, Cap spotted her riding lights.
There she lies, sonny.
We were on target, but so was somebody else. A searchlight stabbed out at us.
Hey, this sounds like Prohibition days. Who's giving us the broadside?
I can't tell.
I'll lay a pelican hook over his head if I get my hands on him. Oh, Cap! I got my left leg.
Get down the bottom, Cap. I'm going over the side. There was nothing to do but swim, so I swam. I tried to remember how many shots had been fired, and that's where I made my mistake. There was a lull in the shooting, which I took to mean that the gun was empty, so I thrashed my way to the ladder. But when I got there, the first thing I saw after I'd shaken the water out of my eyes was the muzzle of a rifle. The face looking down the barrel at me belonged to Brother Thomas Gordon, M.D.
Sorry, Dollar. Killing you wasn't in my plan. But now it'll have to be done.
I was waiting for a bullet to come my way, but instead the doctor did.
Are you all right, Dollar?
I'll thank you later for spoiling his aim.
Forget it. That's me, big-hearted M.
Say, get a boat hook on the doctor. He's our prize fish. Don't let him get away. I grabbed a fire axe out of its case on my way to Ralph Gordon's cabin. If it needed ventilating, I knew one quick way to do it. I didn't check for oxygen. I took a deep breath, held it, and went in. The cabin was littered with wine bottles, and in one corner, in an open case, was the dry ice that was in the process of cooling Gordon off for good. He was stretched out on his bunk. I hefted him to my shoulder and used the last of my breath getting him out of there.
What's the matter with him?
Come on, help me to get him stretched out.
Right.
Come on, give me a hand, will you?
Yeah.
Maybe we can save a policyholder. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Expense account item 9, $30. Cover charge at a hospital where I put the revived Gordon under the care of a doctor, not his brother. His brother happened to be resting in a jail cell at the time, waiting the formal charge of attempted murder. Motive, the family fortune. Item 10, same as item 9. Same hospital where they patched up Cap Reagan. Item 11, $40. An ounce of voodoo perfume for the lovely but sometimes chilly Edwina. Maybe if she tries that kind of magic on her husband, he'll spend less time with the bottled joy and more with her kind. And expense account item 12, $148.70. Return trip to Hartford. Expense account total, $424.70. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien may soon be seen in the Columbia picture 711 Ocean Drive. Featured in tonight's cast were Earl Lee, Willard Waterman, Ted DeCorsia, Charlotte Lawrence, Lou Krugman, Byron Kane, Dick Ryan, and Clayton Post. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us next week at the same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another transcribed adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
There'll be a bright new show on CBS this Wednesday night. It's called The ABCs of Music, and the star is Robert Q. Lewis with Ralph Flanagan's orchestra. You'll find Robert Q. and Ralph Flanagan taking over while Bing Crosby is on vacation. So join them on most of these same CBS stations this Wednesday for The ABCs of Music. Beginning next week, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, will be heard at this same time on Thursday nights. Thursday nights for Johnny Dollar. This is CBS, where you hear Suspense every Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as...
Johnny Dollar.
Mitchell Dollar.
Oh, swell. Take some warm milk. You'll be asleep in an hour.
I'm sorry to wake you up, but this is important.
Okay.
How fast can you get to New York?
Pretty fast. If you let me get out of bed and slip on some clothes, I might make it in a couple of hours.
Well, it's 5:30. You can get to the New York office by the time it opens.
Unless I get a 40-mile tailwind, you're going to be an awful liar. What's this all about?
A double indemnity. A man named Farmer burned to death. He has a wife. She gets $100,000 unless...
She likes fires. Okay. I'll get out of bed.
Edmund O'Brien in another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Great Eastern Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the George Farmer matter. Expense account item 1, $5.80 for gas and a cup of coffee between Hartford and your New York office.
Oh, come in, Mr. Dollar. Mr. Mitchell called me this morning. 5 o'clock, said you'd be here.
He called me at 5:30.
He must have been very sure you'd take the job.
He's familiar with my bank account.
Here are the briefs on the case. Mr. Farmer was on his vacation in the Catskills, a place called the Sportsman's Retreat.
Uh-huh. This is the correct address on the wife?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes? Who? Oh, put him on. Yes, hello, Dr. Evans. Yes. Farmer? George Farmer? Yes, that's right. Our investigator's here now. All right, I'll have him come right over. Certainly. This is Dr. William Evans, one of our insurance doctors. He says he has some information on the Farmer case.
Oh?
He was the one that okayed Farmer for the policy. He's in the Equitable building. You better go on over. He says it's rather important.
Expense account item 2, $1 for cab fare and tip to the Equitable building. You may ask why I didn't use my car, in which case I may ask if you've ever been absurd enough to wheel your own car through early morning New York traffic. As my cab pulled up at the entrance of the Equitable building, I spotted a large crowd, several police cars, and an ambulance.
All right, just keep it back. Okay, you. Where do you think you're going?
What happened?
Some guy jumped 8 floors.
A Dr. Evans?
I don't know. What makes you think it was this doctor?
I haven't had an easy case in 2 years. What did you bet? His name's Evans.
Hey, Jake, any identification?
Yeah. Some doctor works the building. Name's Evans.
Be glad you're not a betting man, Sergeant.
Wait just a minute, Joe.
Sure.
Hey, Jake, come here.
What is it?
This guy knew who the guy was who jumped.
Yeah?
Knew who it was before he ever saw him. Didn't even know the guy had jumped till I told him. And he just up and bet me it was this Dr. Evans.
What's your name?
Johnny Dollar.
I think you better come up and see a lieutenant.
I think I better, too. Jake followed me into the building and took me up to the 8th floor where I met Lieutenant William Briggs, a nice guy who worked for homicide and had done me a few favors in the past.
Hi, Dollar.
Hello, Bill.
You know this guy, Lieutenant?
Yeah, why? Where'd you find him?
He knew the guy who jumped.
I made a guess. Evans called my office on an insurance matter. Who pushed him?
What makes you think he was pushed?
Why call me, then take an 8-floor dive?
I don't know. You got any ideas?
Anybody see him jump?
A couple of people. He came out of the window feet first. They didn't see anybody give him a hand.
Well, let me know if you find anybody who might have, huh? I'd appreciate the information.
I'd appreciate some, too.
Expense account item 3, $1.50 for another cab to the home of Mrs. George Farmer. On the way over, I tried to put the first pieces together. A man named Farmer burned to death. A doctor named Evans had examined him and had some information. Evans winds up dead on the sidewalk. Answer, maybe Mrs. Farmer had it.
Come in, Mr. Dollar.
Thank you.
It's going to be another hot day. I think everybody should have air conditioning, don't you?
Definitely.
Just make yourself comfortable. Can I get you something cold?
Oh, no, thank you. I'd like to ask you some questions, Mrs. Farmer.
About my husband's death?
Yes.
I've already talked to Mr. Arthur from your office, and I've told the police everything I know.
Do you know a Dr. Evans?
Dr. Evans? No. No, I don't know any Dr. Evans.
Your husband never mentioned him.
No. What's he got to do with my husband?
He examined him for his policy. Do you know who sold your husband his policy?
I thought you were from the company.
Late hunch. Thought you might save me the trouble of checking.
No, I don't remember who sold him the policy.
All right, Mrs. Farmer. Thank you very much.
Is that all?
Yes, Mrs. Farmer. That's all for now. Expense account item 4, $1.15 for another cab back to the offices of Great Eastern Insurance, where I looked up the name of the agent who sold Farmer his policy. He was Martin Ames, and he lived on the east side. Item 5, 10 cents by subway to the east side. Not conscience-stricken, just tired of cabs.
Yes, what is it?
I'm looking for Martin Ames. Hey, take it easy. What's wrong?
I'm Mrs. Ames. I was just on my way to the hospital. Martin's been in an automobile accident.
Expense account item 6, $8 for a cab. Fast and necessary. $3 for the necessary, $5 for the tip to make it fast.
Nurse?
Yes?
I'm Mrs. Ames. I was told my husband...
Oh, yes, Mrs. Ames, if you'll just have a seat.
Who's in charge of the case?
Dr. Gerson, I'll call him.
But I want to see my husband. Can't I see him?
You'll have to see Dr. Gerson first.
But I want to know how serious it is. I should be with my husband if it's serious.
If you'll just be patient for a moment, I'll get Dr. Tully.
Come on, Mrs. Ames. Let's sit down over here. Come on. Now, just try and take it easy. Everything's going to be all right, believe me.
Dr. Gerson, third floor reception. Dr. Gerson, third floor reception, please.
Hello, darling. Oh, hello, Bill.
Dr. Gerson.
No, this is Lieutenant Briggs, Mrs. Ames.
Police officer.
Just a friend.
Nothing about my husband.
No, Dr. Gerson's the man you want to see. Can I talk with you, darling? Yeah, sure. You'll excuse me, Mrs. Ames?
Yes, of course.
You'll be all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, Lieutenant. This is far enough. About her husband?
Yeah. Died 5 minutes ago.
Accident?
Hit and run. Before he died, he told us a car ran him off the road. He went down a 20-foot embankment and right into a cement retaining wall. Wall stopped him from going any further, but it broke his neck.
Any lead on the other car?
Lonely stretch of road. No one else saw it, and it happened too fast for Ames to see much. One of your company salesmen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Dr. Gerson.
I don't envy him.
Oh, dear God, no.
Come on, Briggs. This is turning into a rotten mess.
Yes? Oh,
Good afternoon, Mrs. Farmer. This is Lieutenant Briggs.
more questions?
Afraid so.
Come in. Sit down.
Thank you.
Mrs. Farmer, 2 men have been killed today. Both of them knew your husband.
What are you getting at, Lieutenant?
I'm not sure. Where were you at the time of your husband's death?
Right here. Right in this apartment.
Why didn't you go with him to the Catskills?
Because I didn't feel like it this year. He's been going to Catskills every year for the past 15 years, and I was getting tired of it. Are you trying to imply that my husband's death was not an accident?
We're just trying to find out why 2 men were killed.
What have these 2 men got to do with my husband? Who are they?
One was the doctor I mentioned this morning.
I told you I never heard of him.
The other was the insurance man who sold your husband his policy.
I don't know anything about him. I never met him.
Your husband started the fire by smoking in bed and then falling asleep.
I guess so. How would I know?
Was he in the habit of doing that?
We've done it once or twice over a period of 15 years. Mr. Dollar, it seems to me your company is trying its best to get out of paying the money that's due to me.
We're always allowed a certain time for an investigation.
A representative from your company went up to the lodge and made an investigation. What more do you want?
You were here in town at the time of your husband's death?
Yes, and I can prove it. Now, if you have any further questions, I suggest you take them up with my attorney. I'm sick and tired of this whole thing. You've had absolutely no consideration for me. My husband is dead, and you persist in foolish, tiring questions. Now, please leave. I can't stand much more.
All right, Mrs. Farmer.
Don't bother showing us to the door.
I'm entitled to that money, Mr. Dollar. I hope it won't be necessary to take legal action.
Oh.
Want to take a run up to Sportsman's Retreat, Lieutenant?
Why?
I'm just interested in knowing how Mrs. Farmer knew one of our investigators had already been up there.
We will return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. A brilliant orchestra leader and a rising young singing star will be found at CBS, the Star's Address, starting tomorrow. Guy Lombardo and his famous orchestra are taking the place of Jack Benny, and Mario Lanza, the sensational tenor of records and films, will be heard on most of these same stations in place of Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Be listening for their programs every Sunday, won't you? Now, with our star Edmund O'Brien, we return you to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Briggs and I climbed into the squad car and started the long drive for the Catskills. Around 7 in the morning, we turned off the main highway and onto a dirt road. A sign reading Sportsman's Retreat 2 miles pointed the way, and 20 minutes later, we were pulling up in front of the main lodge.
I got a stiff neck.
Man coming out of the lodge.
Well, morning.
Good morning.
Well, I suppose you could... Oh, police car, huh?
Yeah, I'm Lieutenant Briggs. This is Mr. Dollar.
Oh, Mr. Well, howdy. You up here about Mr. Farmer's death?
Yeah, unofficially. You run the place?
Well, do you ask? I'm the foreman. My name's Pop Sloan. Everybody just calls me Pop.
We thought we'd stay a while, Pop. Can you put us up?
Why, why, sure. How long you figure on being around?
Not long.
Well, come on in. Come in. Breakfast was an hour ago. If you're hungry, I can have the cook rustle up some old bacon and eggs. Anything.
Oh, sounds good.
Many people staying here, Pop?
Oh, about 14. 14. The same crowd comes up every year. It's sort of a club, you might call it.
How many years did George Farmer come up?
Oh, about the last 15 years, I guess.
Who owns the place?
Mr. Phillips. He ain't here now. He phoned and said he'd be in sometime this afternoon. Say, how come you fellas are interested in Mr. Farmer's death? We had the sheriff investigate. Some insurance fellow was up here for 3 days. You're a little late, ain't you?
Well, there are a few things we haven't cleared up, Pop.
Sure appreciate some help.
Well, yeah, I'll give you all the help I can. I'll go get some breakfast for you, and then we can gab a while, eh?
Pop went back to the kitchen, and we relaxed in a couple of big leather chairs in front of a large window that looked out on a row of cabins.
Well, that last cabin must have been Farmer's.
Yeah, nothing much left of it.
Beautiful up here, isn't it, Johnny? Look at those trees with the sun shining through them.
Lieutenant.
Yeah?
Your soul is showing. It was beautiful, all right. The cabin stood in a clearing, fronted by well-kept paths and backed by tall trees. Pop came in with enough bacon and eggs to feed a platoon of tapeworms, and we talked.
Hey, where is everybody, Pop?
Oh, they're out fishing. We get up about 4:30 around here.
Many of the men bring their wives?
Bring their wives. Well, some of them. Mr. Farmer used to bring his up every year. He was the most beautiful, fine-looking woman, Mrs. Farmer. Didn't come up this year, though. Too bad, too.
Oh, really?
Why? Why, I might have saved him. Maybe she'd have been here. She might have caught him with a cigarette before he went to sleep.
Well, who discovered the fire?
Who did? Well, we all saw it, but it was too late. The time we got there, the whole place was burning. By the time we got the hoses going, there wasn't much left.
You say you all saw it? Where were you?
Where were we? Why, we was up the Willow Peak cooking out. It's about 3 miles from camp. See it right from here. You see it, there's that tall peak there to the left. To the left, there's those trees.
Yeah. How come Farmer didn't go along?
Oh, he never went on many hikes. He had trouble with his legs.
Anyone stay here in the camp besides Farmer?
No, everybody was up at Willow Peak.
Who examined the body?
Well, Doc Combs from Evanston come up and looked at the body.
Where is Evanston?
Well, Evanston is about 50 miles east. But if you want to talk to the doc, you'll have to wait until he comes in from fishing.
He's up here now?
Yeah, he come up last night. He's going to stay a week with the fishing. Huh? Why, good morning, Mr. Phillips. Didn't you expect you this afternoon? This is Mr. Phillips, the owner.
How are you?
Hello. Some more police fellows, Mr. Phillips.
Oh, about Mr. Farmer's death?
Johnny Dollar. Yeah, I'm an insurance investigator. This is Lieutenant Briggs. He's the policeman.
Well, I thought you both...
I've got some bags in the car, Pop. Would you get them, please?
Would you get... Well, yeah, sure.
We just want to ask a couple of questions, Mr. Phillips.
Oh, I thought the authorities were satisfied.
Where were you when the accident occurred, Mr. Phillips?
Well, I was on my way here from the city. I arrived about an hour later.
You live in the city?
I have a house there. I divide my time between there and the lodge.
Tell us something about Farmer, Mr. Phillips. What kind of a man was he?
You fellas want any more breakfast?
No, thanks, Pop. Go ahead, Mr. Phillips.
Well, there really isn't much to tell. Farmer was a nice sort of guy, quiet.
Do you have any trouble with him smoking in bed before?
Several times. Nearly started a fire 2 years ago.
Wouldn't that make you watch him a little more closely?
His wife came up with him every year, but this one, she was usually near enough to prevent any trouble. Isn't your company satisfied, Mr. Dollar?
Routine. How long did Farmer usually stay here?
Oh, a week, 10 days. However long his vacation lasted.
He was in the advertising business, wasn't he?
I believe so.
How much did it cost him to come up here every year?
Oh, anywhere from $200 to $300. He was tight as the devil, known for it. This was the only luxury he allowed himself. He'd tell everyone he'd save all year just to come up here and relax for a week.
Lieutenant, Mr. Dollar, here comes Doc Holmes. What's the kind of limit?
You interested in talking to the doctor?
Yeah, Pop tells us he was the one who examined the body.
Ah, what did you get, Doc?
Hi, Pop. Got my limit.
Well, good for you. Come on over here. Couple of fellas want to talk to you.
Well, how are you, Phil? Pop said you weren't due in till this afternoon. I'm fine, Doc. This is Lieutenant Briggs and Mr. Dollar.
How are you, Doctor?
Police?
Him, the other's an insurance investigator. I want to ask you a few questions. Clear up a few things about George Farmer getting burned to death.
All right. Thanks, Pop.
Well, hey,
How about having a cook clean up those fish, Pop?
The fish? Well, all right, sure.
I don't think I could tell you much more than I've already told the sheriff.
Did you know George Farmer prior to his death?
Yes. Over a period of, 10 years.
Did you identify the body?
Well, not at first. It was pretty badly burned.
Not at first. Well, how were you able to identify it later?
Well, when they told me that George had a broken wrist, I found the broken section of bone and identified it.
Broken wrist?
Yes, Mr. Dollar. When George arrived, his lower arm was in a cast. He told us that he'd broken his wrist the week before.
What day did he arrive?
Tuesday of last week.
Which wrist was broken?
The right one.
Would you say he could move his fingers well enough to write?
Depends on how recent the accident.
What are you getting at, Dollar?
Do either of you know where Farmer had his wrist treated?
No.
Dollar, would you mind letting me know?
Briggs, can you call the precinct and have a man check and find out where Farmer had that wrist treated?
Sure, but I don't see why.
George Farmer had to sign that insurance policy, didn't he?
Well, he could have done it with his left hand.
Go find out when he broke that wrist. And I think I can show you that George Farmer was murdered.
Murdered?
We all waited while Briggs put in a call to his precinct and sent a man out to check on where George Farmer had his wrist treated. Around noon, the call came in.
George Farmer broke his wrist on the 26th of last month.
That tears it.
Was treated at the Olive Hospital.
3 weeks ago.
Stayed one night at the hospital and went home.
What date did he arrive here, Mr. Phillips?
About the 4th.
2 weeks after the accident. He died on the 11th.
That's right. Been here about a week.
Dollar, would you mind telling me just what you're driving at?
The insurance policy went into effect the 22nd of last month. The first claim on George Farmer's policy was the double indemnity clause, not an accident claim for a broken wrist. Come on, Briggs. Let's go back to town. Talk to Mrs. Farmer.
All right, what is it this time?
We'd better talk about it inside.
I promise you, Mr. Dollar, if you continue...
We're coming in.
Why? Well, all right.
We think your husband was murdered.
Murdered? That's ridiculous.
We feel that you were an accomplice, Mrs. Farmer.
Are you serious?
Very. We just had the lab make a check on the insurance policy. The signature and the fingerprints were from the right hand.
Of course they were.
So your husband didn't have a broken wrist at the time?
No, we did that sometime later.
Would you swear it's his signature on the policy?
Of course it's his signature. I went to the doctor with him.
I thought you said you didn't know Dr. Evans.
I don't.
He was the insurance doctor.
Well, I'd never seen him before or since. How could you expect me to remember
Your
him?
husband didn't turn in a claim for his broken wrist?
That was his business, wasn't it?
Don't you think it's rather strange to take out an accident policy and not turn in a claim on your first accident?
I don't know. I didn't bother with my husband's affairs.
Is this your husband's driver's license?
Yes, where did you get that?
Motor Vehicle Department.
The signature on his license is not the same as the one on the insurance policy.
What do you mean?
He means that the signature on the policy is a very clever forgery. Who forged it, Mrs. Farmer?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who went to that doctor's office representing your husband?
No one. Why in the world would anyone do that? Why would someone represent my husband?
For a $100,000 insurance claim.
That's awful. Get out of here. That's not true. I'll sue you for saying that.
Your husband wouldn't take out a large policy on himself, so with someone's help, you took one out for him and planned his death.
Who was in on it with you? Who killed your husband up at the lodge?
Get out! Get out!
It had to be someone at the lodge who knew what cabin he was in.
No!
The insurance salesman and the doctor were both killed because they could identify the man who took out the policy as not being your husband.
No!
Your husband was going to take this trip, so you planned his death and stayed home for an alibi.
A man killed the doctor and the insurance agent. Someone strong enough to run a car off the road and lift an unconscious man out of a window feet first.
Who killed him, Mrs. Farmer?
I did.
Phil!
Good evening, Mr. Phillips.
Why did you come out? Why didn't you stay in the other room?
They'd have worn you down sooner or later. The car's in the back. Hurry up.
You did some fast driving.
Left the lodge right after you did. Go on, Lorna.
All right.
Stay right where you are, Mrs. Farmer.
I don't think you're in any position to be giving orders, Lieutenant.
Sure he is. We expected you. Told you where we were going, gave you enough time to get here.
And what are you going to do about it?
Take you.
Phil!
Forgetting my gun.
You're forgetting ours. Think you can shoot both of us before we get them out?
I can try.
Then try.
Phil, no!
Get out of the way!
Dollar? Okay. Just a little scared.
Girl's hit. Phillips is pretty dead.
Mrs. Farmer?
Yes.
I'll get an ambulance.
You want to tell me about it?
Oh, all right. Don't make any difference now.
Phillips killed your husband and the other two men?
Yeah. We fell in love 3 summers ago. But he planned it. The whole thing was his idea.
Sure, I know. The state is pretty narrow-minded about those things, honey. A guy like that gets ideas and gets dead for it. If you like his ideas, you just have to get into some kind of trouble along the way. Expense account item 6, $11. Dinner for 2. The good Lieutenant Briggs deserved all the stroganoff he ate. Item 7, $5.10 for gas back to Hartford. Expense account total, $33.65. Remarks? Mrs. Farmer will probably get second degree for complicity. Great Eastern can cancel payment in accordance with the specifications set forth in said policy. Additional item, 12 hours good solid sleep for yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and was written by Blake Edwards with music by Wilbur Hatch. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen in the Paramount Pictures production, Warpath. Featured in tonight's cast were Hy Averback, John McIntyre, Herb Butterfield, Harry Lang, Jeanette Nolan, and Virginia Gregg. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. This is Dick Cutting inviting you to join us next week at this time when Edmund O'Brien returns as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
It's the case of the uninvited guest that will bring you true police adventures on Gangbusters this evening. Your narrator will be San Francisco's police chief. Gangbusters is heard every Saturday on most of these same CBS stations. Stay tuned now for 5 minutes of the latest news, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, where you meet adventure with Charlie Wilde. Sunday is the Columbia Broadcasting System.